think we're live. I think we're live. What's going on, chat? I'm here with Parvision, good
What's
friend of the
up?
channel. And today we're here to talk about Parvision's journey, how he got into YouTube, how he got to content creation. He's been killing it on stream. The thing about Parvision, he's been streaming consistently for I don't know. I'm guessing 2 years now. Maybe it's been longer. But it just seems like for
Yeah.
me, bro, I see you everywhere. And there was a point last year where I remember I was talking to Ors and he was like, bro, how is Parvision doing it? He's dropping a video a week. He's streaming every day. He's dropping a short every day. It's like, and I remember you were just a complete content machine. That's why I titled the video that.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
there was I don't
I,
know. It was like a year ago, bro. I was like, bro, this dude was going crazy, and you were growing so fast, man. So, just shout out to you, man.
yeah, appreciate when I saw the title, I was like, ah, damn. That's like because I feel like that was like last year and I'm trying to get back into the grind now. But yeah, when you said it, like I have been streaming for 2 years pretty much
Did you
because I think I
start?
started 2022 around this time because I'm trying to remember when Jay's Reverie was. Jay's Reverie was the first time like I streamed like that week was like when I first streamed. Like I wasn't afraid of streaming per se, but I didn't want my cam on. I didn't want all that stuff. And then like I slowly got acclimated and then the reverie happened and then boom, I just started streaming and it's yeah, looking back it's a crazy reminder because I started that the Voice of All Things where I would interview creators and I'm like, I haven't been doing that consistently, but I'm still on episode 44, which is like, that's insane. Like, looking back at that, I'm like, wait, that's 44 weeks of this, like, talking to creators, or some of them were just like theory crafting sessions, but, that's a lot. Like, 44 times, like, 3 hours, 2 hours on average. That's a lot of hours. So, yeah, yeah, it's exciting. Thank you for having me, though. I'm excited to do this. This is a great start to my morning.
Yeah, but we're gonna get into it. You said you've been taking. I mean, you said you haven't been streaming and doing as much lately. We're gonna get into all of that, bro. The ups and downs of being a content creator. We're gonna get into everything, man. So, but yeah, I appreciate you
Sounds
coming
good.
through. And I've been trying to get you on for a while, bro. But I know it's difficult to schedule everything, and yeah, it's been a long time since we spoke, bro. So it's a good time to just kind of hang out and discuss everything. But really, this stream, I want to make it more about you, not as much about One Piece. We could talk about One Piece if the chat wants. If you guys have questions about One Piece for Parvision, go ahead and let him know. But I want to make this more about your journey as a creator because a lot of guys in the chat. I know you guys. You always ask me how can you get into or how can you get into YouTube? How can you make videos? How can you start streaming? How can you get views and do it successfully? Parvision, he definitely has cracked the code in many different ways. I mean, I'm only in my mind, I see myself as a guy who makes videos, and I can give advice on videos for sure. But Parvision has done things that I don't even know how you've done it, bro, because you have a creative mind. Like there was one thing that I saw, I think a few weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago, and it was your video, and you had a new format, and it was the goggles, and it was looking through the goggles, bro. And I was like, bro, that is the most genius idea I've seen in so long for a branding standpoint, because not only like the whole theme of like the vision, right? We're looking through your vision that you've always said in your intros, but
Yeah.
it just looks dope on the video too. So it just looks good too. So man, that was a good. I don't know if you're still doing it, but I really like that one.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that. That was a huge shift because for a while now. So like if well, this is like a crazy hindsight thing, but like when I started my channel, it was just like I could have done better editing. I knew I took a lot of classes in Adobe and stuff like that. So I wasn't unfamiliar with Premiere or any editing software. But for me at the start, I started on TikTok and it was like low effort content, but people would listen to your audio primarily. And then the visuals were supplementary, right? YouTube's a whole shift because like, visuals are so core to a lot of people. There's people who listen to audio only, but you look at the really nicely edited videos and you can kind of see like, yo, the top creators in our space, they have the insane editing and they have like a very specific, like you can look at some of the creators and be like, if you muted the audio, you could understand like, oh, I'm watching a preach video, I'm watching a O'Hara video, I know who I'm watching, right? So I wanted that with this style, but I also like wanted to edit myself because, a lot of people use other editors, but for me, it's like some of my theories are so specific. Like if the panel isn't on screen or the right thing isn't on screen, then it doesn't hit the same way. And a lot of times I got that response because earlier on I did premieres, so I would premiere a lot of my like really intensive videos so I could see people's reactions live and the people who are like meaningful to the audience, right? Not like the hate watchers who tune in when your video drops or something like that, or like, just like the raw reaction of the chat reacting to it live. And
Yep.
that premiere function was super helpful because then I got to, I would say my Blackbeard video is the video that I like tweak that one the most to be the best way to I don't know, get an audience and have them listen to something, and that reflected on it. That was my fastest growing video in the shortest amount of time, and so that like tells you that the meta was there, the algos were correct, and all that stuff. But with the vision goggles, like yeah, I was like, damn, like I'm trying to figure out a way to avoid the copyright stuff, but I also want the visuals to be exciting, and I also want like, cause like for me, and I was talking to Grand Line Review actually, and I was saying like when someone watches his video, you can tell because he has that like pop up, like he has the characters come on the
Yeah, he's
screen,
got his
and that's
arse.
a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's like a very it's dope, it's awesome. And but in order to do that you need like an artist team and you need editors, and like you can get away with it, but the way he executes it, it's his own style. And so I wanted something like that, and that's where it's like showing the vision, the goggles through it, but then also sometimes I try to get a little interesting with it and try to give people exactly what I'm thinking. So as an example, I do watch parties every week, and when I'm watching the episode, I try to explain to people like what I'm thinking while I'm watching, and it's so hard, but it's literally like if I'm watching an episode and like a thought comes to my mind, like another episode is playing in my mind and I'm like watching it. So it's like an overlay. I'm like, oh my God, this reminds me of Thriller Bark. This reminds me of Skypiea. This reminds me of like this manga panel. And so that's kind of what happened with like the current style, and it's still in its prototype phase actually, because it's supposed to be more dynamic. It right now it's a little too static for my liking, but that's because I'm trying to blend in being productive and like getting videos out on a consistent schedule again and editing. So once I get comfortable with the schedule, then I can make the editing more exciting. But right now, I think it's a happy medium where I could just like stick with this static one that like is sort of exciting, and it's like it works with the meta. I feel like I think I've seen like I haven't seen someone do exactly what I've been doing, but like framing a video with like a speaker. I think like Hidden Island does something like that too, where he has his avatar on the side and then he has a screen, and every few times he switches in. I think I've seen like a few like abroad channels do this like a few years ago, but yeah, it's just I'm making it sound like it was like difficult to make, but it it's just a lot of thinking,
Well,
and I've been doing a lot of thinking on social media for a long time.
see
So
that's the thing, right? Like to me, when I see it, it's as a content creator, right? Because I got that content creator brain, and I'm just thinking like this is so simple, but it works so well with your entire branding. Um, but yeah, man, I just for me, I personally I've really liked it, bro. I mean, I'm sure you'll find a way to improve it, but the way I see it is it's just it's you've just started doing it, and over
yeah.
time you'll kind of figure it out.
Hmm.
But yeah, chat. Make sure you guys, if you guys have any questions for Parvision, make sure you leave them in the chat. We'll be talking about his content creator journey. Any questions, specific things that you guys want to know. Um, Make sure you guys like the stream. Make sure you guys. By the way, if you're not a member already, we're gonna be doing a lot of streaming. I've been streaming every day for the last like 7 days, so it's gonna be going on for the next few months. We're
Oh
streaming as
shit.
consistently as possible. Bro? I'm serious. Like, guys, stream because or become a member, because it is actually a steal for you guys to become a member right now. Because we're gonna be doing this every single day for like a month. And by the
Wow.
way, to all the members already out there, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. you guys have been supporting. And yeah, like I said with the members, I've said it in previous streams, you guys are going to be deciding the content going forward. We did a Naruto stream yesterday, so yeah, make sure you guys become a member. Make sure you guys subscribe to Par as well. Okay, Par, I want to start from the very beginning with you, man.
Yeah.
What was your first? Okay, actually, no. Let me ask you this: What was the first? When was your first idea of I want to become a YouTuber, or maybe not even that? Like, when was your first thought of, I think I can do this, or you had an idea and it's like, oh, I think I can make a video out of this. Like, when was your first initial thought, or was it even before and you were like, you always wanted to do YouTube, but you just never did it? Like, how did you initially think about getting into this whole content creation journey?
Yeah, it's a bigger question than I think a lot of people might think because for me, not that I'm older, but I don't people don't know my real age. You do, but I'm in my late 20s, so when I was graduating, I was in, or not graduating, when I was in college, I was in League of Legends. And so I was really uh I wouldn't say I wasn't good at League of Legends because I wasn't like at the top ranks. Are you familiar with League of Legends?
No, I never played it. No, but
Gotcha.
I know what it is, but I never played it.
So I talked about this with King Recon actually. The way I looked at League of Legends back in the day, um, like maybe like 5 years ago, and then like before that, League of Legends is what I think the current One Piece community is in the sense of that was the most popular game, and there was like substance to it. It was like there was actual like you know uh tactics and like
Mm.
meaningful ideas, kind of like with One Piece. It's like, yeah, it's a goofy story, rubber kid, but then there's real life mythology, there's real life stuff, like there's like really meaningful takeaways and important plot points. And League of Legends, in a different way, there's a reason why it went collegiate. There's also a reason why there's a lot of companies right now using games to in their hiring practices, and like consulting jobs and various jobs on that tier where it's like decision making analysis, like that kind of stuff. And so when you look at a lot of the top content creators right now in like the broad spectrum, like Pokimane, for example, she came from League of Legends. Disguised Toast, League of Legends, like all of these dudes came from League of Legends. And it's crazy because I used to play with them, like Pokimane and all. Like I when Discord became a thing, I was like one of the first people in like Pokemon server because she was like pretty good. She was a good like mid laner, but she was also streaming, right? And so around then, I got good at the game, and people are like, "Yo, you should stream. You play like really interesting things. People would like that." And I wasn't like top. I was like, I peaked at Diamond 1, which is it's pretty good, but it's also not like it's not professional. Which I didn't care about being professional because I was in college at the time, so I was like, whatever. But I started streaming because a lot of people who I played with, like, yo, I would like to learn from you. And so that's when I started getting to content creation about like probably it's like 2014, 20, yeah, like 2014, 2015, about then. It like I was just playing random games like Destiny. When Destiny first came out, that's when I learned about Twitch because I knew about Twitch, but there was like a raid that happened, the first raid. And it was around then when I started realizing the people that I was playing with, they were all streamers. And so I was wondering how my like, because they would patch the game and my tactics would kept getting patched. And I was like, why are they getting patched like this? And then I found out the people I was playing with were streamers. I was like, wait, this is the kind of pull content creation has. Like, I'm literally playing, I'm minding my own business, and then this multi-billion-dollar company is out here like doing shit against me. That's crazy, right? It's just like some dude on his computer streaming what I'm doing. I was like, why am I not streaming? And then so that applied to League of Legends, and then it all combined in a weird way.
Wait. So
So
you started in 2014. So that's like 10 years ago, man. Like, so you've been doing this for
yeah,
a while now.
So that was for a little while. Like, it was like 2 or 3 years of like I was streaming and I was doing good. Not 3 years. It wasn't as consistent, but because like I was doing college and stuff, and so it was like a side thing. But I got pretty deep into it. Like, I almost went collegiate for some
But
esports stuff.
did how big were your streams? Like, did you have a decent following, or was it just like for fun? And like, how was
So
that?
So it was for fun, but here's the so I mentioned like Pokimane, but I never played with her because I was she had like a different rank or something like that. So I never got into her games. But it what I'm about to say applies to the One Piece community, and you'll understand immediately. Is that a lot of the players that I talk to, or if I mention them, if they talk about me now, they'll be like, "Oh, Par played with like the top streamers." So like
Mm,
I got into all of their games, and so I was like this streamer who was like in all of the big streamers games. There's like a one dude Trick2G where he would host like tournaments and stuff like that, and I'd get connected with him. And then there was a few YouTubers who would like invite me to their like exhibition games so that they could post on their channel. So I was in those kinds of things, and so my streams, they were like smaller at the time. So like 10 years ago, it's like I would say my average was probably like 30, like 20 to 30 viewers, which at the time was like it's considered super small, but at the time they didn't have the affiliate program. So like in order to be partnered with Twitch, you had to have like I forget, like a few hundred concurrent viewers like on average, which was really hard to get. But like back then I could have immediately gotten the affiliate thing if I just continued. But the reason why I stopped was because I was in my final year of college and I was graduating, and I was getting married to my wife, and so like I was like, this video
mm,
game stuff and the streaming stuff takes up too much time
yeah.
for me to be good at the game and good at streaming. I'm just gonna focus on like like career stuff, right? And I wanted to do consulting. I was like in the interview stuff. I was between consulting or like managing. So like one of the I think the more legitimate jobs that like I was aiming at was Amazon. They had like a I forgot what it was, like a manager MBA role that I was like I just did my GMATs, I was doing my tests. So I was like super focused on like school stuff. But that's when I got diagnosed with my, a lot of people, a lot of my viewers, like I'm looking at the names in the chat, they know, but I was diagnosed with cancer. So I was like super sick at the time, and so I had to cancel a lot of my interviews. I had like 6 interviews in the week that I had to go to the doctors. And I was like, okay, if the doctors doesn't say it's crazy, then I can go to these interviews. If he says it's crazy, then I'll probably just drop off these interviews. And then the doctor's like, you shouldn't be worried about it. It should be fine. And then so I scheduled the imaging the next day, and then the radiologist was like, no, it's not fine. You got to go to the doctors. And I was like, all right, all right, all right. And then the the rest of it was kind of like a bunch of health stuff. But I told you because you
Yeah,
actually found out
I
recently.
didn't. It's like, is that like a known thing that everybody knew? Because I never heard you talk about it in the stream or anything. And bro, I just found out like a month ago. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was shocking for me, man. Because you, bro, like I said, I told you, bro, you look good and you're always positive. You always look like you're always happy and stuff. So I just couldn't believe it. Bro. I thought you were joking for real because it's Twitter.
yeah, yeah. That's like I was like, what a way to find out on Twitter when I was half joking, but it was about Lunchables and that like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So like I'm a really health conscious person. I've always been, so which is how I diagnosed my cancer. That's how I
Mm,
like figured out all this stuff. And so I've always been health conscious, and so like people messing up with kids' food, that pisses me off. And Lunchables is like,
no, I feel you, bro. I
every
feel
kid
you.
had that. So I apologize for that's how you found out, but yeah, I wasn't joking, and yeah, so that like kind of derailed a lot of the life path at the time, and it was kind of like this weird thing because I had dropped the social media stuff and like Twitch streaming. I wasn't fully on YouTube yet, but I have a YouTube channel for my league stuff. And I think one of the videos had like insane views. I checked back, it went viral for some reason. I think like a bigger streamer checked it out because I was number one ranked in the world for one of the characters. and that character ended up becoming way more popular after I left the game. But anyways, the what's it called? Yeah, so like the life path kind of changed, but then the one thing that uh I had time for was like, yo, let me just get back into gaming a little bit. Let me stream a little bit. And it was just like this enjoyable thing, alongside a cancer diagnosis. It's like, what's the hurt with having a little bit of fun? And so
Mm.
um, I was like picking that up a bit, but then I was getting better, like my health situation was getting better, but then the pandemic happened. And then the
Oh yeah.
pandemic thing made things so bad because it was like it's a weird thing because I had foreseen the pandemic in a little ways, because again, I was super health conscious and I was like tapped into like my brother's in was in like medical stuff and like I just read the news all the time. So it was funny. I had my wife cancel airplane tickets before the lockdown happened, and she was like it was with her friends too, and so they were on the phone and they were like, what is your husband talking about? What do you mean like cancel our tickets for this like what pandemic what? And then like 2 weeks later it would automatic they didn't cancel, my wife did, and then their tickets got refunded anyways. They had to go through almost all this stuff, um but yeah, the pandemic made things so much worse because like if I had gotten sick with my condition, that would have been like really rough for diagnostic reasons. Because later in the pandemic, I found that my cancer came back. And
Mm.
it was just like all this rough shit that just kept on hitting me. And the one thing, the reason why I went on this trail is because when my cancer came back, which wasn't supposed to happen, the doctors, I had the best I literally, like, this is no joke. It's not a flex, but I have the best surgeon. He's my surgeon, and he was literally like, yo, it, this is like the craziest thing for it to happen to someone so young, but it's come back. It shouldn't have come back. And the worst part was the growth that came back was on my voice box. So basically the first surgery that I did to take care of it already risked my vocal cords, but I came out, I was fine, I recovered really quickly. But the second surgery, which I haven't done yet, is super risky because the cancer is literally on my voice box. If they touch it and they mess it up, I will lose my voice. And it's a weird thing. It'll be paralyzed technically, but there's a lot of like depth to what that actually means. It kind of Have you ever heard Corpse Husband? Have you ever heard of him?
No, I
Or
haven't.
Vinland? You heard
Oh,
Vinland, right?
Villain D.
You know how yeah, yeah, you know how deep his voice is?
Yeah, yeah.
If technically one it in like the best scenario of the surgery going wrong, if they like correctly paralyze my voice, it would I would sound a deeper version of Ragnar. That's what I would end up sounding like.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So so when that voice thing happened, and the doctors told me that like, hey yo, like, um, it was actually interesting because they ask you what do you do for a living, and at the time I was just kind of like I had my like family business. I was also looking to do consulting stuff, but I was doing some YouTube stuff on the side. Like I was recording videos, I had animations, I was doing a bunch of things. Like I have a whole separate channel. I showed some people, like some of my members, they know, or some of my mods, and so I was like, I'm getting into YouTube. And so because I said that, they were like a lot more serious. They were like, okay, like if you have a career that uses your voice a lot, we're gonna treat this like we need to protect your voice no matter what.
Mm.
And so then I like went home with that. I was like, damn, like I never like valued my voice. I did, but like I was always self-conscious. I never wanted to be on videos like early on, like I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, like turning on the stream and using my voice. Like when I was playing League of Legends, it wasn't my voice mainly, it was my gameplay. So when they told me that about me losing my voice, I was like, wait, that's kind of crazy. I never appreciated my voice. And now, like, if I lose it, I could never pursue YouTube like this. And at the time, AI wasn't like a thing, which even now, it still doesn't replace like the feeling of being like using your voice and spreading a message or whatever. But that's when a few months went into it, I just decided, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop trying so hard to put out content that like I was doing like stocks, I was doing health stuff, I was doing like all these things that is like super serious, but um you know, a lot of my friends are like, yo, you should teach people like about health stuff, about cancer, about, you know, diabetes. And I know about all those things. That's what I did at the beginning. I was like working in sort of healthcare. It was like a startup type thing. But anyways, I came across a video, a TikTok, Straw Hat Goofy. He was like, he's a big TikTok person. I don't know if he's still doing stuff because I'm not on TikTok as much, but I met him at the Film Red premiere but he's like the TikTok spokesperson. He's huge. He does Marvel stuff. I saw his video about like One Piece, and I was like, wait, people make videos on One Piece? That's crazy. I had no idea. And I love One Piece. I always watched the anime at the time. And that's when I started realizing, yo, there's a huge community of people listening to One Piece. I can make a video about that. And then I just sat down one day and I recorded a video, and that was my first TikTok. It was just it was my idea of how Luffy would beat Kaido. It was before Gear 5. It was just a really quick like um analysis between how Luffy overcame Doflamingo, Katakuri, and Kaido, and there was like parallel lines. Like when Luffy fought Doflamingo, he said, "You're not strong enough." And so then what Luffy did was he brought out Gear 4, which was strong enough. And then when he fought Katakuri, Katakuri said that it wasn't skilled, but he wasn't fine tuned, I guess is the translation, but he wasn't like intentional and fine tuned. And so then Luffy brought out Future Sight, and he brought out Snake Man, and that was it. And so basically Kaido said like, you have the Conquer Taki now, you have this stuff, but you're not using it correctly. And uh Luffy's problem was that his like blunt force wasn't working. So I was saying like, oh, maybe this is when Luffy brings out, instead of a Gear 3 punch, he brings out a whip, like a whip. Like he always uses a whip, but he uses it wrong. And like he just kind of like rubs a whip on someone, but that's not how a whip works. A whip is like really fine-tuned, precise, and if you use it right, it like cracks the sound barrier. It uses reverberations. It's crazy. And then also it lined with his move set too, like because it's like you have a cow whip, a bull whip, a snake whip. You have all these animal whips, tiger whip, monkey whip. You have all these kinds of whips. And I was like, yo, this would be perfect for Luffy. And that was the first video. And then that popped off on TikTok. Like that was my first video. And that's how I met Mosh and you know, a few other content creators, and they were the ones who said, Mosh specifically, who's coming back on YouTube actually just this last week, and he was just like, "Yo, bro, you should post this stuff on YouTube. A lot of people would like it." And I had no idea that people were making YouTube videos, and which came at a shock to me um
Wait, so
because
you never watched like anime videos before on YouTube before?
no, never,
Wow,
never.
bro, what? How,
Yeah,
bro? That's crazy. Like I grew up watching
yeah,
like I didn't watch One Piece because I got into One Piece pretty late, but I would see like Anime Uproar and like different channels and stuff. I would watch some of those when I watched like My Hero Academia or I think it was like Dragon Ball. Geekdom 101. Like I don't know if you've heard of these. I'm sure you've heard of some of them. But yeah, man, like I was growing up watching anime stuff or just YouTube in general, bro. There's so much content out here. That I'm actually
yeah.
surprised that you never found like a One Piece video if you were into One Piece.
Yeah, that's it was funny because I had friends who were in it, and my best friend's Japanese too. So like I was, whenever it came to like anime or manga, I would just go with him, and like I would talk with my in high school. In high school, I created a anime club,
Mm.
and so like those like my best friend and then a few other people, that's how I got anime recommendations or manga recommendations and stuff like that. And they're all really hardcore. But they're not, none of them from what I know are in this space of like some of them are on Reddit and stuff like that, but like they don't watch YouTube videos like this, and so I
Wow.
never had it recommended. The closest thing I think to the anime community I've ever been was League of Legends, like the video gaming stuff, because it was 1 degree of separation from like someone talking about like an anime or a cartoon or a movie. But yeah, I never even I think like people bring up like game theories or what's the guy, Matt Pat and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I never watched those videos. I watched like Philip DeFranco. I watched like a bunch of news stuff on YouTube. I've always been that way, and
Okay. Okay.
yeah, like even now, like I'll have like news like I have like a news aggregate that I kept from like when I did
Bro, I
stocks.
can just imagine you in like 30 years from now. You can be one of those old dudes like just with like CNN in the background, just chilling, just enjoying
Oh
your
yeah, that's
breakfast. Like,
me.
yeah, man, I can just imagine it. But bro, okay, so wait, we got some people in the chat. They want to ask you a few questions. They said, JJ said you got to ask him about Top Man. So what are your thoughts about Top Man? This guy is maybe the biggest Top Man
Yeah, yeah, I
workery
know
fan I've
John.
ever seen, bro, and he wants to hear your thoughts on it.
Uh, Top Man. My God, this dude. I was actually so it was funny. I was gonna what's it called? I was gonna make a 420 video, like my top theories, my top three theories. So I was gonna get the clickbait and then say top three theories and then dot 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 while high. And one of the theories, it's a theory from a long time ago when I got super high, and I posted in my Discord, and people were just like dying of laughter. And that's the point. Like, because most people when they watch my regular videos, they're like, yo, what did Par take for this?
Yo,
Or they'll watch my streams.
bro.
And I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm not. And then when I do get high and then I make those theories, they're like, all right, this is the difference. This is so funny. But one of the videos is about Zunisha being Zoro's Zoro's like mom. and and because the reason why I forget full connection, but it's because technically Zunisha has green hair because the because of Zoe, it's like this green growth on his head, and then technically he
Oh,
has three swords. He has the tusks and then his snout, and so like the whole like I had it ready, but I was laughing when I was looking at it, and it was funnier because all of what I was saying about Zunisha being a swordsman ended up becoming real facts with Top Man Workery when he charged the giants and his tusks became swords. I was like, yo, this stupid theory that I had is legit because now Top Man comes in here and he starts sparring them with these tusk swords.
yeah.
And as far as like Top Man goes, like I think he is like super interesting. I just feel like it's hard for Oda to make like the whole the warthog thing or boar thing like super crazy. You know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna be pretty straightforward moving ahead. And whereas like with the Itsumade, there's a lot of ways you can make that cool. And then with Saint Venus's whatever his horse is called, the it doesn't matter what it's called. The skeleton horse centaur mode. That's like it's so easy to make that cool. The boar thing and then the worm are both like, all right, let's see what Oda does with this. I'm excited. And so far it's been pretty straightforward. So I'm excited for him, but like I kind of I don't I mean this is like a hot take, but like I really hope that the Gorosei have like merit to their human forms too. I hope it's not just like they pull out Glocks, you know? So it's kind of weird. I'm excited by their forms, and I'm excited. I'm more excited by the lore behind their forms. Like, are they're not devil fruits, like, and where did they come from? Are they from the Void Century? Um, but yeah, like the forms haven't done a super a lot. But as far as Top Man goes, he's not my least favorite. I could say that. My most
Yo.
favorite is easily Venus right now, but that's like super basic. It's easy to love Venus, so we can knock him out. Least favorite is Jupiter. Jupiter's
I agree.
whatever.
Yeah, Jupiter,
Uh,
it's been a disappointment, man.
yeah, he's whatever. The veneers are, the veneers are whack. He should have had pointy. He should have pointy teeth like a real worm. But um, the Itsumade is cool, but like again, it's like easier to make a bird monster thing cool. And then Saturn is my least favorite because he's the perfect mix of being really cool and like he has a lot of potential to be versatile, and he came in with so much like potential, And he's almost worse than Jupiter. I said this to Sai. I was just like, honestly, Saturn will forever be the worst. Regardless of how silly Jupiter looks in the last chapter where he's gagging on a building, he there's Saturn's worse because he's been worse. Like he's actually performed worse. So Top Man's sitting at a safe 3 where Venus competing with Venus and Itsumade isn't even fair. So in that world, you can say Top Man is top. You could say that.
Yeah,
I
I
could
mean,
see it.
one thing I love with Tom Man is or his mustache, the way it goes into like a tux design in the new form. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
goofy design, but I think Tom Man, bro, he's shown a few good moments compared to the other Gorosei. Like Jupiter has been to me just a joke, but he's being used in that way. And like Top Man to me, he's had the Conqueror's Roar. He's had the last chapter as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
the headbutt thing where Luffy breaks
yeah,
his
yeah.
hand
I
on.
mean
That's like
that
cool.
was so hype, bro.
Whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
so someone said, "As Par, has he ever watched Team Four Star? Do you know what that is?"
No, have no
Okay,
idea.
yeah, bro. I don't know if you've watched Dragon Ball, but if you have, you got to check it out, bro. It's honestly, I mean, I remember watching that stuff, and I'll just be crying, laughing while I'm like eating cereal or something, bro. It's just some of the funniest. It's like a parody of Dragon Ball.
Oh,
But yeah,
I've
it's
watched Dragon Ball. So if it's Dragon Ball related, that's where it's kind of like I probably know of the characters because I've seen it. Dragon Ball's just different like that, right? But like that's where it's weird because like I don't remember the creators like that. It was just like I would just come across them on I don't know. I wasn't even on anime Twitter. I feel like because I'm not even here's another thing. Like I'm not huge in social media. Like in my personal life, I'm not on social media. I don't like social media like that. Which is
same way, bro.
hilarious
I
because
honestly, bro, I hate Twitter. Every day I think about deleting it because, bro, if bro, I'll be honest, bro. If I had to go into every post and I just see like a OnlyFans ad every single comment section, it's like, bro, I can't avoid any of this crazy. Every day on Twitter, I scroll for like 10 minutes and I'm just like, bro, I gotta get out of here. There's always something crazy. Somebody's always trying to say some crazy stuff on Twitter, and it's just a
yeah,
toxic place, bro. It's like you can't avoid just the craziness every single second. And it's
yeah,
not even, bro.
yeah.
It's not even One Piece. Like, how am I getting recommended all this stuff, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's a good thing, especially when you're younger to like to be off of social media like that. Because like I've always been that way, and my friends have always like a fun fact, and I've said this recently on stream. My best friends, so like my core friend group from high school, um, they're all very like some of them work in social medias. I think like one in Facebook, one in Apple. Like they're all really successful, smart people. None of them use social media. So we literally like when I told them that I had a like they didn't know I had a kid because like my wife would post about it and I would sort of but none of them have me on social media. I don't like we don't use it like that. And so I notified them by mail.
Yo, that's
And
crazy. Mail, bro, by mail in any year
yeah.
after like 1985 is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, they don't check their mail either. So we're all just different. We're just like that. It's funny, but as far and of like all of my friends, like in every group, I would say that there's always been people have always said that I should start social media ever since like high school. They were like, you should do YouTube. And this is back when like YouTube wasn't popular. And I was like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Like there's like no, like you're really passionate about this or that. And I'm like, I'm passionate about everything. Like I could sit down about like you could tell me about health, you could tell me about the stock market, you could tell me about this bridge infrastructure, you could talk to me about literally anything. I'll be passionate about it. I'm so excited about all these things. So people would always tell me like, yeah, you should start a
Wait,
YouTube channel.
bro,
You'd be
that's interesting. No, because earlier you say you always are interested in the news, and like
yeah.
for me, it's like for me, I guess I get my news a lot from like Twitter and Instagram now, and that's
Yeah.
really all I use it for. Really, I don't even like I didn't even have a Twitter until I made a YouTube channel because I just never used it, and
Hmm.
that's why for me it was so shocking when I jump in here and I see how crazy Twitter could be. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I
Yeah.
mean,
Twitter
yeah,
Twitter is definitely a wild space for
I would
that.
say
And
it's just shocking
no, what
for
are you
me with
saying?
YouTube too because like bro, I'm surprised that you never watched like any anime stuff. Because not even for anime, but bro, like even though I don't use social media like that, YouTube, there was points where I've been addicted to YouTube, bro, and I can admit it, and it's been bad, bro. It's like I would go all day with my headphones on, like just listen to random podcasts or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's been times where it was pretty bad, but
Yeah, yeah, that and that was I think like as far as my channel goes, and I try to maintain it still, which is like hard thing to maintain when the more you grow, but um when I started, everybody was like, "Yo, Par feels like a breath of fresh air." Like when I watch his channel, I feel like I've never heard someone say these things, or and like that's stayed to a certain extent. But obviously, the more you interact with the community, the more your ideas end up like sounding not stale, but like people have heard it, right? And then also, if you're making theories on the chapter, it's like if you take 100 people reading the same chapter at the same time, in the same context, and you're gonna have like 25 of them come up with the same ideas, and there's gonna be another group of 25 that come up with the same ideas, right? So when I started, people were like, "Yo, where did he come from?" And I just revisited this idea because, oh yeah, like Jay hit like 100K, and I forget where we talked about this, but people said I was an industry plant. I was like, what does that mean here? And because I just came out of nowhere, and then Brago collabed with me, and then I got into the Reverie in that first year, and so people were like, yo, who set Par up like this? And but I think a lot of it was just because, yeah, I haven't been, it was the way I talked about it, like I think I talked about it with Hidden back in the day. I felt like that one like anime character where it's like that anime character that was raised in a forest, and then he went to the school in the city, and he's just cracked at everything, and the people are like, where did this guy come from? And he's like, yeah, I've just been like farming for my whole life, and
no,
that's kind of me.
a One
That's
Piece
just
industry plan is hilarious, bro.
yeah.
But no, but people would be surprised, bro. Like Brago and just a bunch of different creators. Like I remember, I did a collab with Anime Uproar. That guy has like 2 million subs, and I did
Hmm.
collab with him pretty early on, like maybe less than a year before I was taking YouTube serious. So you'll be surprised when people like when they mess with you, bro. And you got dope content. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll be surprised. They'll reply, and I mean, the way he told me is like, I saw one of your videos and I liked it. With Brago, it's like they just got to know you, and once you kind of get out there, once you do content, it's like once they hear about you more, it's like, so I
Do you
mean,
want to hear the
they're pretty
story with
cool, bro. Like
Brago?
they're down to do content and collabs, so I feel like you gotta give it a
100%.
shot, man.
100%. I've said this because I on my Voice of All Things stream, I brought Brago on, and I exposed him. It was funny because so keep in mind, I had no idea who anybody was. So when I got onto TikTok, it was like I posted my first video, it popped off, and then um a week later, I think a weekish or maybe 2 weeks ish, I started my YouTube channel because so many people were like, "Yo, make a YouTube channel." When I posted my second video, my third video on TikTok, people like they were just spamming, "Go on YouTube, go on YouTube." So I did, and YouTube was crazy because I got monetized in my first week, because people just transferred over from TikTok that much that they were like, "Yo, your videos." Back then, TikTok had a 3 minute
Bro, you got
lockdown.
monetized in a week?
Yeah, I got monetized in a week.
That
It was
is
crazy.
crazy, bro. What the?
Yeah, and this is
Nah, that
back
took me like a
when,
year to get monetized, bro. Nah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
nuts.
it was the wildest thing. And that's when my wife was just like, because my wife has always believed in me doing anything really, like whether it be games. She told me I should continue streaming games back when we were getting married and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm not gonna. How am I gonna get into a marriage with you on this like unfounded thing? I'm gonna be applying for jobs. Let's do this like, more normal. It's like I'm not gonna bank on the social media stuff. So, but when I got
But
monetized in a week,
okay,
she was just like, "Wait,
but
you
she
need to do this."
so she knew from the beginning that this was like a side passion that you had though. So like that if that because the way I see it is
Yeah,
as long as she knew it from the beginning, then it's like because then she'll support you, right? Because if you go in like let's say you go into a relationship they didn't know, and it's like now
yeah.
like 5 years later you want to start doing YouTube, it's like a little different, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that I because I did the league streams a long time ago, and she saw those. Like the league, so like interesting story with both of them, and they connect. When I started league streaming, or streaming League of Legends for people, it doesn't make sense, but in the first month. So I was playing, I got to like diamond rank, which is, it's not the flex, but it's like top 1% or higher than that. Back then it was more prestigious than it is now. So I did that on a laptop. I did that with like 10 FPS. I did that with like BS connection.
Damn.
And um and so I couldn't stream just yet. And I started streaming on my laptop and it would lag my thing down. And in my first 3 weeks of streaming, I had a viewer who believed in me so much. He donated $1,000 and he said, I
Sheesh.
think you are going to be a huge content creator in the future. He was like, he only been in my stream for like 3 days. And then the
Wow,
third
bro.
day, he just said, go get yourself a computer. The computer is sitting next to me right now. This is how I started Parvision on this computer. That was from 10 years ago. I built it, or I modified it.
No,
And
that's dope, bro.
uh,
That's dope.
one second, my son just came in. Like, yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Chad,
Okay.
you,
Sorry.
at Anime NYC, I met Parvision, and he has a wonderful family, bro. And I just want to say, bro, like it's really inspiring because when you see like a good role model, it's like, bro, you got your whole family is I met your wife, I met your kid.
Yeah.
You guys got a great family, man, and like that's the stuff I like to see too because it's just a good role model for your chat, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then my wife, because like my wife doesn't know all the like content creators and the faces and all that stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I was saying I was streaming with you today, and then she was just like, "Oh yeah, I sat next to him at the dinner, right? He got
Yeah.
me the I forgot what you wanted, but then you got it for her, and I
Oh yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, man.
yeah.
No, but that's dope, bro. And it's because the thing too is it's tough, bro. It's tough, bro. You got to allocate time to your family, to content, to your own personal stuff, to your job, whatever. I don't know your personal situation, but that stuff is another thing of content creation. Actually, we'll get into that right now, bro. How do you distribute time to everything? Because like doing content is a busy time. You gotta be grinding. We were talking about that time where you were just pumping content out constantly, bro. A content machine. How do you
Hmm.
still, make time for your family, make time for everything else?
Yeah, I mean it's a hard thing to I guess like instill or learn, but for so like there's some things, and I think like social media content creators like are becoming more and more aware of it, where it's like, you tell someone asks like, how do I start a channel, or like, how do I be more like you? And Mr. Beast recently on a lot of podcasts were like, don't be like me. What I'm doing is unsustainable. What I'm doing is not like, he cannot in good faith recommend his own strategy because it's not sustainable for most people. You have to be like different to be a Mr. Beast. And like a lot of growing up, content creators weren't really like that. They were kind of like, they not that they put themselves on a pedestal, but like, you know, it was like a different thing where they couldn't show vulnerability, I guess.
Mm,
And so for me, I was kind of so I was raised like my dad started his own business, and so we had to put on a bunch of different hats. And I guess between my ADHD and just like my upbringing, I was just really good at like multitasking through the day. So if it was like talking to an accountant and then a lawyer or something, or like having to do construction work or something, like lay down stones, like it's just
yeah.
code switching all the time. My most memorable stuff is all the times I had to like lift up appliances and stuff like that to different places and things like that. And so that just kind of stuck with me. And like when I started Parvision, I still have them, but I put more time into Parvision. So at the time when Parvision started, I was doing stocks daily, like I was doing day trading, and I was doing pretty good. Like one of my favorite stories is that one of my secret content accounts on TikTok, some people have found it, and when you look on that thing, I think about like 12 posts, and those 12 posts are all stocks that I told people to invest in during the pandemic. And one of my close friends, he listened to me 3 days in a row. And so the first day he tested it, he tested with 100. The second day he tested it with 1,000. And then the second day I said like, yo, if you have a lot of money, put it down. And he trusted me his third day, and he did so well. He bought a Rolex with it. And I'm
Bro,
like,
there's
wait,
no
what?
way, bro. What the
wait. I can I get some commission on that? I didn't say that
financial
because it's not.
advice Parvision?
And so like you know,
Crazy, bro.
I was doing that, and then so me and my wife, we started a nonprofit. It's a social media nonprofit, but it's a nonprofit nonetheless. It's New York approved and stuff like that. And so I was doing their social media, their strategy, like how to convert people from like the post to like active participants and donors, or coming in to like learn about, the nonprofit was about Bangladesh, like so the my um my ethnicity, my parents, where my parents are from, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And so I would make like educational content on
Oh,
Bangladesh
oh,
and tell
bro.
people.
Oh, I don't. I just gotta say something, bro. Like Parvision, I know he's a true content creator because I don't know how many people have seen this, bro. But I remember
What?
when I was posting a lot of shorts and stuff. I was posting on Instagram too, and I saw a Parvision, like I don't know what it was, bro. It was like you talking about like dolphins or something, bro.
Yeah, that's my
Bro,
third. That's my
it,
science
it caught
channel.
me
Yeah,
so
yeah.
off guard, bro. I was like, "There's no way this dude is just a content machine for real. He just wants to talk about everything."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was
And
funny,
and
bro.
so so when Parvision started, I shifted some of the time from those other projects into Parvision, and it just became a like a time block thing. So like I knew I need to spread out leisure. I knew I need to like have alone time, and this is before I had my son. And so I would just block out the day like for a week, or I would just do a day, and I would just go day by day, and I'd be like, okay, when I wake up, like um when I wake up, I'm going to do my voice recordings. Or no, not my voice recordings. I would spruce up like my scripts, and then I would do a voice recording like an hour in, and then I would take a break, and I do my editing at night, and I'd leave like 4 hours in the middle of the day to like spread out, do other things if I had other work to do, because at the time I was doing other jobs. But then slowly, like I think a lot of the community might have noticed at one point, I was hopping in all the streams. I was going to like commenting on all the videos. I would use that time to be everywhere as much as possible, because throwback to the League of Legends day, that's how I got the people remembered me. Like I was mentioning, even my friends, if I ask them like, "Yo, what do you remember?" They're like, "Oh, I remember when you played with this famous guy, when you played with
Wait,
that
so
person."
so you still
It
have
was all
people in
networking.
your chat and supporters still from the early days from those days?
No, like my friends, my close friend. Like if I sign on League right
Mm.
now, like my friends list will be it's funny because a lot of my friends ended up working for the company Riot Games, who makes League of Legends. So like I'll just see a bunch of Riot names, but then some of them are top gamers now or on collegiate teams. So when I sign on that, like it used to be, not anymore because I'm so washed up now. I'd have to like re-rank for them to like not respect me, but sometimes I log in and they'll be like, "Yo, are you playing? Are you? Is it back? Is it time for?" So back then I was known as D Legend, which is ironic because JD Legend, but that was my gamer tag, D Legend.
Mm.
Um, and so they're like, "Yo, is he back? Is D Legend back?" Blah blah. Blah. And but the main thing was like networking was so important. Like not just like not it's not like networking can be fake. But it's like if you if you are genuine about your content, I you'll be able to genuinely connect to genuine people. And that's how I kind of saw it, right? Like I wasn't connecting with everybody. Like for example, you had mentioned like Anime Uproar and all these other like 2 million, 3 million accounts. I didn't know any of these people. I literally, when Brago hit me up, and this is the thing I was going to bring up earlier, I didn't know who Brago was. I had just made an Instagram account, and Brago messaged me on Instagram, and he said, "Yo, like I would love to like record a video with you." And I was just saying, like, someone hit me up when I had like 1,000 followers on TikTok. Like, I just cracked like 1,000 on YouTube, and someone hit me up to talk about One Piece, like on their channel. I didn't even check his channel. I just said yeah, because I was like, yo, someone that passionate was like willing to talk with me. And on Instagram, Brago had like 3K people, so I was like, all right, it's whatever. And then it wasn't until like mid recording that I was like, wait, what channel is this going on? And then he's it's Brago DAce, which is his second account. Well, his first, but his second account. And then he told me he's BDA Law, and I'm like, wait, BDA? Oh, that's like not that like yeah, like I've heard of like, even before One Piece, like I got into community, I've heard of like Ohara, I've heard of Library of Art Tour, but like I never watched the content, it was like someone had mentioned in a conversation. I have really good memory, and I'm like, why does that sound like I've heard your name before? And then Ohara is also like a One Piece name, but BDA, I had no idea, so I just accepted, and that's how like it went on. I didn't know any. If someone contacted me, I was like, "Yo, they're passionate. I'm passionate. Let's talk." And that just continued. Every single step, I met someone new. So from Brago, I met Joyboy Theories. Um, from Jay, so I met Jay like a little bit before the Reverie. From Jay, I met like Randy and a few others. Well, Randy, I forget how me and Randy linked up, but um yeah, Randy hit me up, and it was just like I didn't do, it wasn't hard. It was just like being genuine and popping off. I wasn't going super hard to like make a collab. It was just like, hey, you like One Piece, I like One Piece. We just hop on this call, let's talk. And then I would meet one person and went to another thing, and it was just it was. I feel like when you ask the question like, how did you pump out all that content? I feel like a lot of times it wasn't intentional. It just kind of happened. But a lot of it comes from like that structure of just like knowing, being aware of how you work best. So I knew that for me, I worked best at night, but my voice was better in the morning. I liked recording in the morning, so that's just how I broke it up. And then socializing, like I didn't like social media, like I mentioned, but I had to for Parvision. I gotta play the game a little bit.
Bro,
So
I
during the middle
love.
of the day, I would do that, and I would even to this day, people will ask me like, "Yo, when should I schedule a stream?" Because I have everyone's schedule memorized. But like, so then I'll know like, okay, this person's streaming, then you should stream here at this time, and like, so I know from like. This now I'm a little, because when you said you streamed every single day this week, I was like, wait, how did I miss that? What? I've been a
Yeah,
little
bro.
bit off my game
I just been
recently.
like it's not like long streams or anything, just like an hour or
Yeah.
two. But yeah, just I've been going hard, bro. I've been on a grind for the last like 2 weeks, just like every single second of the day, just been working. But no,
Yeah,
bro, you
yeah,
you
yeah.
mentioned something so interesting. I like this because it's such a specific thing that I don't think like you only know this and you only would think of this if you were doing content, if you were doing streaming.
Mm-hmm.
You said you only like to record in the or you like to prefer to record in the mornings. And bro, that's the realest thing ever because every YouTuber knows their voice is at the peak condition in the morning when you got that little bit of raspiness and it's like
Mm-hmm.
perfectly clear, bro. Your voice is not drained, your voice is not shot out, and that's so real, bro. Because like I do that too. I like to work at night and you just,
Yeah.
you're focused, there's no distractions. And then in the morning you record, like, bro, that's a good tip to everybody watching. If you guys want to do YouTube, record when it's quiet, record even at night if you can, record when there's nobody in the house. And then like preferably in the morning, bro, if you can. That's some good advice.
Yeah, yeah. It's like another thing for me. It was like, because I guess the way I do it is a little bit. I forget who I talked to about this, but damn, where did I have this guy? Oh, Joy Boy. Joy Boy doesn't script. Did you know that Joy Boy Theories doesn't script his videos?
Yeah, I think I can kind of feel it. Like it's a free flowing thing, but I don't know how he does it, bro. Because that is impressive, man. That's like a 20-minute
Yeah,
video just talking.
yeah. So he cuts out some like, uh, when he's like puts filler words in there. I'm like, dude, I could not do that because if I did off script, it'd be crazy.
You know,
Um,
Sai also impresses me, bro. I know you're cool with him,
yeah, yeah,
but I don't
yeah.
know
Side's
how that guy,
wild.
bro. I can tell just by the way his content is, I can tell that guy is like the biggest Moist Critical fan ever. Um,
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
just tell,
he
bro.
is.
I can feel like the way he talks is like kind of similar, bro.
No,
And
it's identical. He knows it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
bro. No, but
No.
that dude's he's a beast, man. Just like I remember I had a conversation with him. He's clear, he's concise, and no script, bro. All his videos is just straight off the top. That's really crazy.
Yeah, he's starring the script now, which is hilarious because he's getting to that theory game, and I've been messing with him for a minute now. But yeah, he's been posting a few more theories, which I'm excited. That's like my all-time favorite thing to do, to convert someone who's like, yeah, I don't make theories. I'm like, you sure?
Yo,
You
bro,
sure, bro?
Sai has he's the most underrated theorist, I think.
Yeah,
Like
no,
he'll just say
I
something kind of random, but then it like he's like, and then it turns into something. Like sometimes it's like, cause I remember, bro, I've been watching him since like 3 years since he was doing spoilers, and
uh-huh.
like, and especially like I remember before, I feel like he would be hesitant to say a theory, and it would be kind of like a random one. It wouldn't be too good. But bro,
Yeah.
now like when like I saw his Bonnie video, I was like, bro, this is the best theory I've watched in like 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, bro, he's
I'm
underrated.
glad.
He's underrated for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a little bit he's still a little bit he has PTSD from his he made it we so a lot of the theories we talk about like on the podcast thing, and then after the call we hash out, like I tell him a lot of like he basically knows most of my theories that I haven't posted in the last like anything that's logged up. I'm pretty sure I ran it through him because he's always been so on the other side of the thing, like you're saying, straightforward, but then also like he's really that's one of the reasons why we ended up collabing and making our podcast super quickly, was because I had been not as a creator in the space so for a long time, but I have been watching content on YouTube, Twitch for decades, like even beyond a decade at this point. How old am I? Yeah, beyond a decade at this point. It just hasn't been in the anime space. So I've been watching like some of the biggest streamers or content creators grow their channels from a League of Legends account to now it's a multi-million dollar, almost billion-dollar brands. It's some of these people, and and it all started from like this really goofy thing of League of Legends. And what's interesting is like Sai reminds me of a lot of those successful creators who are able to convert to anything. And so like I realized that super early on. I watched some of his streams that he doesn't advertise. He doesn't advertise his Twitch stream at all, which is hilarious because that's what I always try to bring out that side because he's crazy on his Twitch streams. But Twitch is a lot more freeing, I guess.
I think you
Or
and Sai have maybe my favorite thumbnail ever, bro, and it's a consistent one. I think you know what I'm about to say, bro. When I see that random Asian guy pop in, bro, I'm just like, bro, what the, bro? Yo, that's crazy, man. That's hilarious.
Yo, yeah, dude. Yeah. The thumbnail stuff. So I don't know if you've seen our 50/50 podcast thumbnails. Those are my
Is
favorite
it the
ones
one
because
with
we
like
just
the it's like a scribble, it's like a little drawing?
yeah, it's just a scribble, dude.
Bro, I remember the first time I saw that, I was just like, bro, there's no way, bro.
Yeah, we
Oh
because
man.
like Sai no he knows about thumbnail stuff. He does it weekly. He made his own thing and it works. But then for our thing, we're like, why don't we just do low effort stuff? Like why are we putting so much effort into something that's for fun, right? When it becomes more serious, we'll put more serious effort into it. And as far as like, the stream goes, is giving meaningful advice, is like that's something that I think a lot of content creators fall into a trap, regardless of niche, is that they try too hard at the start when a lot of the stuff that you're worrying about doesn't matter at all. And I was cognizant of that mainly because I was going in because I was like tired of all, like, if you notice, like on my channel, one of the biggest ways I combat the hater comments, which isn't, I don't do it because of them. Every time I make a reference to something that's said, I always put up the panels. I always put up the sources. That's the longest thing that it takes for all of these videos, is checking my sources.
Mm,
If like a 30-minute video is about like 500 assets of me clipping out different panels, and that is the longest time of anything. I usually don't have to edit my script based off of what I'm referencing because I usually remember everything. So that's to paint a picture for people. I write my script from memory. I don't usually reference it. When I go to collect the assets, that's when I fact check stuff. And sometimes I have to go back and edit it before I record it, but I usually don't have to. But bar none, it'll take me forever to make the assets. And so many other content creators don't go through that effort. But for me, it's just a brain broken thing because I was originally going to make science videos. I was going to make all these videos, and I hate it when people make videos and they not like One Piece videos, but like scientific stuff, and they don't reference this thing. Because even if what they're saying isn't fully correct and it's their opinion on some kind of result or report or something like that, that's fine. People can have conversations on things and be wrong. That's not necessarily misinformation. That's discourse. But it's the difference between misinformation and discourse is citing your sources. And that's where people, that's where misinformation is super easy to track. Is like, yo, where's your sources? Oh, you don't have any sources. And then with the people who have their sources
You
and they
know,
just misunderstood something,
it's
then it's like,
interesting.
oh, you didn't mean bad.
It's
You're just,
it's
you know,
interesting you brought this up because I've talked to this about with ores before. I
yeah.
think our generation of One Piece theories is like I consider it like me, you, Hidden Island, Threevil, like that era, Dak.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like before when I go back and look to some old videos, it's not as there's not like a heavy emphasis on panels and like specific little details. Like I feel like that kind of came into a different era. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah, and
when we first did our first stream, you told me you was like, bro, I like how your theories have a lot of evidence and like panels and a lot of focus on that.
yeah, yeah. And that was because like when I came into the community, I started looking at some more videos, not a lot, but like a decent amount. And yeah, like the specific video I remember was the glasses one, the revolutionary glasses, which ended up
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like
yeah,
the Savo on the thing in chapter what 1052 or whatever.
yeah.
That was crazy. And but yeah, like the whole evidence thing. That's for me, that's the hardest part of like my content creation is like being less strict on that thing because at the end of the day it's One Piece and not everybody
It's
needs all those panels, but it's just a me thing.
No,
But
I
as
agree,
far as
bro. I agree. It's like it almost makes the video almost a little less entertaining, and you're like, it's a sacrifice in a way. But I know exactly what you mean, bro. It's like you want to have enough evidence to back it up, where it's like, okay, this is the real deal. Everything that you've already researched is just there, and you could go find the information. Like I know what you mean, bro.
yeah, yeah. And then like I can see it like when people comment, some people are like, "Well, this didn't happen." But then instead of telling them like a chapter to go to, I'll tell them like I brought that up in this thing. You can look at the panels yourself. Sometimes I put multiple translations there just to make sure I cover the bases in so many ways. And like as far as being a stickler for in like the integrity of the content, I don't think that there's any limits ceilings to how far you can go. But what I'm trying to say is that people will go that hard for other things that don't really matter, like getting the most expensive microphone. Like I'm using like a $50 microphone or
Mm,
$70 mic, which is still expensive. My first one was like a $20 Samsung whatever microphone USB. Like you don't need anything that crazy. Some of the people, I think you just saw in the Reverie chats, one of the bigger creators was like, "Yo, what microphone should I get?" And he's a
yep.
big creator, and he's just like, "Yo, what do you mean you don't know what mic to get? Like, hello?"
You know,
um,
yeah, I
but
would
what were you saying?
say okay, mic is important. I would say get a good mic. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
the
yeah,
most expensive one, but I would say definitely invest in a mic. If you're trying to
yeah, yeah,
stream, I think you just have to get a PC too, and that's probably the biggest investment you're going to make. A good PC and then a good mic, and then after that, bro, it's like you don't really need much more from that. Like you need an interface, you need like a some. That's really all you need, honestly. Um,
I would even say today, like you don't even need the PC anymore. Back in the day, like a decade ago, you need the PC for streaming. But like, and I'm not saying this for your situation because you also have like insane edits. So like, getting a better computer for editing,
yeah.
like that time and render time and
Oh,
editing
bro,
period is
let me tell you, bro.
it drops.
When I had my Mac, I was using a Mac for so long, bro. It would
Yeah.
take me, bro. I used to wonder how does Sai get up his spoiler videos in like 30 minutes, and it would take me so long to export a video to upload it, and like, bro, it takes so it was like 2 hours for
Yeah.
like a 20-minute video.
Yeah, yeah. Size computers. I'm not gonna dox his stuff, but oh, that was the other thing. Cause I same as you when I first met Sai, I that was the first thing I interrogated him. I was like, all right, cut the crap. What's going on back there? And
Yeah,
then he told me, I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. But you know the real thing, and Brago kind of was being funny about this, but he also has fiber. Do you have fiber?
no, I don't know. I don't even know what that
Yeah,
is.
I fiber internet. Do you have fiber internet?
No.
Yeah, see that's crazy, dude. I don't think I've been thirstier for an upgrade than fiber. I'm literally like I asked my best friend who like lives in the area but like it's her parents' place. They can get fiber. I'm literally like yo, can you upgrade and I'll pay the difference so that I can go to your place because my place doesn't get it. And so when it comes to uploading, like a 40-minute video for me on my connection, which is still fast, but upload is capped on most standard lines unless you have like a crazy business thing. Um, and so it's gonna take like an hour to upload and then another like 30 minutes to go through a check. Sai, it takes 1 minute to upload an hour video.
Bro, yeah, I just it's
Did
incredible,
she-
bro. And I believe
one
it.
minute.
Actually, bro, you're 100% right though because because I don't know if you read spoilers, but I read them. Bro, it's like a spoiler comes out, right? And like I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, I'm like this dude dropped a video within an hour of a spoiler, a 20-minute video. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
speed that we're talking about right here.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, so I
uploading a
believe
video
it,
for
bro.
him
Yeah, man.
is 1 minute. So that's why he uploads like our podcast stuff. And because for me, it would take literally like our 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour podcast. That would take me like 4 hours to upload. It takes him 2 minutes because
Wow.
of fiber. So that's why when it comes to like moving or whatever, I need fiber. And that's why I brought up Brago because then I brought it up. He's like, yeah, bro, it's kind of like mandatory. And I was like, what do you this? I was like, what do you mean mandatory?
And also,
But
it's especially more mandatory the output that you're doing, right? Like depending on what
yeah,
you're doing, if you're doing one big theory, if you're doing like if you're Dak Sake, right? I see you Dak in the chat. Shout out to Dak.
yeah.
If you're Dak Sake dropping like a 30-minute video, 20-minute video every week, every 2 weeks, you don't
Every
really need.
day, bro.
Yeah, if you're posting a short every single day, if you're dropping, if you're streaming every single day, you're doing content every single day. Yeah, you definitely need to get an upgrade on your internet or even your PC or whatever because you're
Yeah.
gonna be posting a lot.
And that's why I said so like a lot of people who have streaming issues, it's not necessarily their computer, like Tekking, right? Tekking has all the stuff, but he still has internet problems. And it's because his internet. It's like a weird thing with his like service providers. I would splurge on that. It's not there's even grants now for like for getting internet because internet is like a it's like what's it called? Like water and electricity. It's like
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
so
it
like
is so useful in everyone's lives right now. So it's to the point
yeah.
where everyone's using it all the time.
So like even like hey like even if you're you don't have all the financials lined up there like I just saw Verizon has like a Verizon Forward or Verizon Now. So like if you I don't know all the stipulations but you can apply to some of those things. So for example like if people are getting like SNAP checks or government aid for like healthcare they can apply for I think it's Verizon Forward and they get
Bro,
free
chat, you guys
internet.
gotta take notes because I'm taking notes myself, bro. This is like gold information right here. I didn't even know about all this stuff.
Yeah, so the government subsidize this through Verizon. I think T-Mobile might also have it, but Verizon, I just saw it the other day, and I was like, "Yo, I could like my in-laws maybe, like one of my in-law retired, so it's like he might apply for this. Getting free internet for him,
Wow.
that's that'd be solid." So yeah, so earlier I said you don't necessarily need a PC because phones are insane. If you were to splurge on like if you were a content creator and you had a really cracked phone, I would honestly like getting a cheap laptop and a nice phone might be the play with some of these phones out there if you use it correctly because right now my webcam is my phone. So like I use my phone as a webcam, but also they have like the programs for streaming are so seamless on the phone now. It's mind blowing because back when I started streaming, they didn't even have phone apps, but now they do, and they're honestly better. And I know this because I did a IRL stream, and IRL streaming when I did it in Anime NYC for Film Red, I did that. It was so much harder than it is today, but that's because so many people are doing IRL streams that they made it super easy. And like you could get a lot done. Like you can literally host your stream and broadcast it with the camera on your phone and you could do that and that's easy. Now, editing is a separate thing, but there's also
Yo,
insane editing
oh,
programs.
bro.
CapCut is
I'm
wild.
so happy you said CapCut, bro, because you put me on a CapCut when it comes to shorts when I was doing shorts. And let me
Yeah.
say this, bro. It is a must use if you're gonna do shorts. Like it's like so simple
Yes.
and so easy, and it has everything you need. You can even pay for like the monthly fee or whatever, and it's even more. And you get like a
Is it worth
crazy,
it? I
bro.
haven't paid for it yet.
I think it was worth it for me. I was using it on my MacBook at the time, so it was worth
Yeah.
it to get something with the exporting that I needed. But bro, it's just like man, like it's so simple, bro, and it's like you can really pump out good content with that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, like someone said like live stream will drain your phone battery. It's so cheap to just get like one of the good like 10,000 milliamp hour external batteries,
Yep.
and that'll last you like, if your phone, if constant streaming on a decent phone. I'm not talking about like a like an economic phone. If you're gonna do the content creation and you're looking like PC, an expensive PC and whatever, like I'm not saying exactly what you should do, but if I were to sit down right now, I might suggest getting like a regular laptop and then
I say like a two
like
hundred
a
dollar mic, even less if you can. Like,
yeah, and then get like a refurbished or older, like it doesn't have to be this year's. Like my phone, like the I have like a 2022, and now you can probably get that for like 500 refurbished, maybe even cheaper.
I'll
And
say this too. I don't know how you guys feel about because so the way I see it is if because when I had my when I got my MacBook, when I got my equipment very early on, and once I like the way I see it is if I purchase it now I'm going to use it. I have to use it. So for
hmm
me it's like a
hmm
thing where I'm not going to waste my money. So you
yeah,
invest in it and it's like now you got to go hard. So I guess that's
yeah,
just how I work, bro. I don't know how everyone else does. You don't want to waste your money, so, but if you're the type of person where you invested into it and it's gonna make you even go harder, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be upset with you guys just getting a good mic, bro. Seriously, like get like
yeah.
a
Good
it's not
mic is solid.
even if you could find one like I think my friend got the Blue Yeti. It's not like expensive or
hmm
too crazy or anything, but it's like that's a good mic.
Yeah. Voice quality does go a long way. There's a lot of like software now that you can help with a bad mic, but like as far as someone splurging, mic should be, in my opinion, the first thing. But then like you see, there's all these kind of uh crazy decisions people make. I'm like, yo, you don't need to do all that. And that's why I suggest the phone, because it's like you could do all the social media, you could do all these things. And then sometimes you have to sit back and think about it like a Kylie Jenner, right? Like their entire like multi-billion dollar businesses are on their phone. They don't sit down on a PC. They
That's
handle
true.
everything on their phone. And yeah, they have all these people behind them doing like the really procured content for like magazines, but their own stuff, yeah, they're
They
like
post
so
on
many people come up
Snapchat.
on
Yeah, it's
the
like
phones. Yeah, and I personally have seen, like I know a few like my one of my cousins, she's like a really big content creator, and I actually didn't know originally. My wife told me. I was like, "Wait, really? She's that big?" And I was like, um she does makeup. She does makeup. She's huge, like insane. She has like a school, dude. I'm like, what the hell? And I found out later, later
you
on.
might have to tell me off stream, like who it is, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I'll let you
Because I
know.
also know someone that's like a crazy big makeup and like fashion person. But
Yeah, and so like she did all of that just off of her phone, like, and there's other things, but mainly on their phone, editing everything. And so it's like you could get a lot done with these phones that didn't exist when I started 10 years ago. It didn't exist like 6 years ago. It's starting like 5 years. There's some people you hear about doing it just off their phone. Now it's going to be more and more common where it's like low effort. Even video games, dude. Like some of these games you can play on these phones. These phones are so overpowered. It's honestly disgusting how insanely like if you were to tell, like this is a funny story. This is super derailed, but when I was growing up, it's gonna sound like a fantasy world, but I just remember this yesterday. Well, I remembered it before, but my for reasons like I would visit the hospital, the local hospital, whether like volunteering for my brother or whatever, just random stuff. And back in the 90s, the hospital had an autonomous robot that walked in the hallways and it would respond to you. You would ask it,
bro,
"Where's the food port?"
I'm gonna be
It
honest
would
with you, Par, bro. This AI stuff, this robot stuff is actually it actually creeps me out, man.
yeah, and this is
Like,
the 90s. I'm talking about the 90s. This
nah,
is
bro,
a
I would have
real
been
thing.
no, no, no. I would have,
And it had
bro.
the entire so I looked at it later on. I found out it was like some really rich physicist guy who just really liked my town for whatever reason, and he built this in his garage and donated it because he wanted to do a startup, but then it didn't go
That's
anywhere.
crazy.
And then he's just like, I'm just gonna give it to the hospital. They can use it. And he put the entire hospital map on a 50 megabyte floppy disk, And I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about? 50 megabytes? That's my thumbnail, dude. Like not my thumbnail, like my not my thumbnail, my PFP on Twitter, you know?
It was a
Like
different time.
it's crazy. It's so crazy to think about where we're at now. So given like I mean, there's been all those conversations where it's like, do you think you could rule the world if you went back to like ancient Egypt and you had a cell phone with Wi-Fi? And it's like a bunch of people would be like, yeah, like 100%. If I had a cell phone
I
back
mean, bro, if I
then,
FaceTime somebody, if you took somebody from like not like the 1600s, you brought them here, you show them FaceTime, they think it's straight up like Salem witchcraft, bro. It's like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what Vegapunk's doing right now, right? So,
yeah, pretty much,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Somebody said,
But yeah,
how should someone learn how to edit? We mentioned earlier CapCut. Definitely, if you're doing shorts, you can learn how to edit with CapCut. It's definitely the way to go. You
I
got
use CapCut on the computer too. CapCut on the computer is so nice,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Any other like? Wait, do you use CapCut for even like your normal videos too?
I'm using CapCut and Premiere right now for like the goggles thing because there's just some free effects on CapCut that like I like it's just hard for me to find on Premiere. And I'm too lazy to search through all the stuff. I know like I could ask like Dax or somebody, but I just feel bad like bothering people about these random things. So I just like
Listen, man,
whatever.
if you really want to go, low budget editing, and it's like the easiest way. If you have a MacBook or bro, I think my first like 2 years of YouTube was Mac editing on
Hmm.
iMovie, bro. It's like one of the
Damn.
worst editing platform or services you could have, but it's free. And I mean, listen, bro, if I could do it, you guys could do it. It's really, I mean, you don't like the thing is you always want to be upgrading over time, right? Like you want to upgrade. Maybe you buy editors eventually, or you learn how to edit better. You get like an editing. Maybe you get what's the different editing? What do they call it? I don't remember the one that I said another one. I forgot what it was
Da
called,
Vinci?
bro. Not Da Vinci. I don't remember one of those. But yeah, bro, you can always upgrade over time. Is my point, and like
Hmm.
but when you're first starting out, you just got to get started. You got to, you got to get your reps in. You got to just get going, man. Like you got to just find your own craft and find your own way because if I could do it in iMovie and I'm getting videos that can blow up, then you guys could do it too. If we're doing it in
Yeah.
CapCut, a free app, it's like, come on, bro, you guys could do it.
Yeah, yeah. The CapCut's like you said. When it came to the short stuff, a bunch of creators had asked me, some of them have like editors editors on the payroll like that, like Cole who had like 20 people. It's like he can figure out shorts and get whatever. But I was like, yo, CapCut's how you get the like a bunch of the cool effects that you see that are super meta. And that's the main thing about it is like sometimes like what I described when it came to like my goggles editing thing, like I wanted my own style and whatever. Like that matters more later on, but especially when you're smaller, you do have to play with the meta a lot. And
Yeah.
right now, it's not that it's easy and it's not that it's fun. It could be fun and it could be easy if you get a favorable algorithm that you hop into, but a lot of it's like looking at what other people are doing. What are the popular videos doing? And like the easiest thing to do right now to pop off are like shorts content. And that stuff is so easy because you know what software they're using. 9 times out of 10, it's CapCut. And then you just got to look at what presets they're using. Sometimes, most of the top people don't even use the paid stuff. Like, only sometimes do you see that they're using the paid stuff and you can tell, but that's when it's like the entire video is insanely high quality. Like, they're using a camera that has better vision than my eyeballs. They're using a mic that sounds like they're in my ear. Like, that's different, but not everybody needs that. That's that 1 out of 10 person. And especially starting off, like I'll see more and more content nowadays where people are way more forgiving for being like more not procured
Oh,
content,
bro,
not
bro,
like
when you
super
first start
structured.
out, like it's like people are so forgiving. Like we're not expecting you to have an amazingly grand line level editing when you got your first video out, you got 0 subs. People are very
Yeah.
forgiving, man. Like I didn't
Yo,
get. I didn't, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say people like to this day like my original editing, and I know that and I appreciate that and I keep it, but like I also have to recognize that's like my niche at the start. Like that was the my core viewers, and that's not gonna be the majority. But what's important there is it that's a solid amount of people. Like I just said, I got monetized in a week, and that's all the people that like loved me just putting manga panels on the
Yeah,
screen. Half the reason why I stopped doing that is because Rogers Base told me a scary story about how he had like a sponsor thing and they still struck him down for using panels. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be a little bit less putting full panels up, you know? But yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, man. Like the point is, man. There's no better time to do content right now. It's like really, if anyone wants to, if you even had like an inkling in your soul, like I wanna try content. It doesn't have to be One Piece, anything, bro. If you really want to, I think it's the best time to get started, and just
Yeah.
try it because like you know you're gonna have regrets later on that you didn't get to try it. It might not be
Yeah.
for you, man. Like, but as long as you know that and you learn that, it's like, and if it is for you, I mean, bro, it's so fun. I mean, you can ask Parvision, you can ask anybody in the chat, Dax, Saki, Randy. I see you guys in the chat. Shout out to them, man. Bro, it's like at the end of the day, you know if you want to try it out, and if you don't, and if you do, you gotta just get going. There's no excuses. There's literally no excuses at this point, bro. You got free editing softwares. It's the easiest way to get in the game, man. It's like, and you can do whatever you want. There's so many ways that you can make content now. Uh, it's just really
Yeah.
about just going all in because you can always hesitate. You can always say, I don't want to do it, or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. You could be lazy about it, or you could just be fearful, man. And it's like, you don't even think about it. Just try making a few videos and get going.
And then also, actually, I've been meaning to tell this to Dax too. But and like Randy's here too, and he does Twitch streaming. But also, because this isn't on Twitch, right? Preach.
No, it is not. No, I don't have Twitch. No.
Yeah, yeah. So Twitch is actually like in my opinion, and they recently like it used to be that you couldn't cross platform, but you can. And even you don't have to. A lot of times people get scared about these like large, like sweeping content rules that like you hear about in the news. Not that it like almost never applies to the small creators, especially like the micro size
Listen, bro, I
creators.
heard TikTok was getting banned like 5 times in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. So TikTok's in a weirder place right now. So, but now there's shorts. Now that Twitter's also popping off with it too, a little bit. It's weird. Not that you want to be on Twitter. Instagram's pretty cool. I heard good things about Facebook, but I haven't personally been able to push
Actually, bro,
that. But
that's a good point that you bring up, right? Like if you make short form content, if you're doing YouTube shorts, you can also post it in other places as well.
yeah,
But yeah, he's right. Like you should try to grow one platform. Maybe try to grow like how he said he blew up on TikTok first. You try to
yep.
focus on the first one, and then eventually you start branching out. And you can post those to every platform, and you get like now you got exposure everywhere. So
Yeah, my first like 15 videos on this on Parvision are just my TikTok videos re-upload and slightly reformatted just to because TikTok is the what 9 by 16 or whatever, and so or 16 by 9 whatever the ratio.
so
And so it's funny because some of my early videos were square on YouTube, and I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of cool." I didn't know YouTube supported square, so like the video player is a square. It's not a rectangle, and they support the square thing. And I was like, "Wait, that's so weird." But it made it easier because then it fit the TikTok format and the other thing. But so the thing that I don't do that, guys. But what I was gonna say was on Twitch, if you stream content, and I think that everyone should just stream content, if they're gonna get into the space. It could be whatever it is. It could be related to your content, it could be not. But the reason why I'm saying specifically on this one, because I saw Dax, I saw Randy, and see you, is because Twitch has a back end thing in the creators hub where you can edit it auto edits, not auto edits, but it auto formats your stream to shorts, and you can directly upload to
you said
shorts.
on Twitch
It's
it does
super.
that.
Yeah, on Twitch, it's
Mm,
so all you have to do, and this is like I told Jay this. I think Jay's starting it.
I'm gonna have to try that too.
I think Jay already started it, but yeah. So it's getting better and better. But basically, you ask your community, or you do it yourself. So I did it myself for a few of them, and I clipped some of my community's clips. But you ask your community to clip out either funny things or whatever, and then what Twitch does is you click on the clip, and then you say I forget what it is, but it does like an edit button, and then it auto formats it. All you have to do is arrange where the square is, and then you just hit upload, and it goes straight to any of the short platforms. It can go to TikTok, it can go to YouTube, it can go to, I think, Facebook too. I don't know if Instagram's supported yet, but it does all of that, and it's crazy, and it's super seamless,
Mm.
and like you can very easily understand how, like, I've been seeing Dax, he's been doing his giveaway, like the manga,
Yeah.
that would pop off on those. There's so many people doing it. And I see Dax posting more shorts recently. Jay's he does all the streams, so that's perfect for him. And then if you're doing streaming every single day this month, dude,
I
you
might have to,
should
bro.
100%
I might have to.
push it onto just, and it's just having it on the side. That's all it is. And you don't really, like, you don't have to advertise it. It's just a tool at that point. It just auto records that. But that's how I get my streams. So my watch parties, I auto upload them to YouTube technically, because they have an auto upload function for my, and I have a link to my second channel. So when I do, so like if you look at my watch party streams, they're like 2 hours, and then I upload it on my second channel. It's just like an hour, and all you have to do is just remember the timestamps, and then you just hit upload, and it goes straight to the second channel. Super seamless.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out, bro. I mean, that just seems so much more simple because I've been thinking with OPU too. It's like I want to find a way to do shorts for that to
Oh
promote
yeah.
the podcast more. But yeah, man, that's great advice. I want to ask you. I asked Chestnut. I had the first content creator stream with Chestnut, and I
Ooh.
asked her, "What is your favorite thing about content creation, and what is your least favorite thing?"
Oh, it's crazy that you brought up Chestnut, because Chestnut retweeted something that I also retweeted that I said was probably my favorite thing, period. I could probably think of a few others, but since it's fresh on my head because you mentioned Tanuki, was like, at this point, when you look at my channel, it says like 400 videos, but that's like because it's shorts. It's probably like, I think I cracked 100 videos, like straight, like long form videos, but but the it's really cool. I think at any stage of content creation, but especially now, when I get notifications and it's all from one person, and they're just video hopping. They're just watching and commenting. Sometimes you see their likes, like if it's on a shorts
Mm,
thing, they'll go back, and then they'll start watching long form, and then you just get spammed. I literally will open up a notification thing, and now it's been happening via my shorts. So I'll talk about something, and I'll link like an old video, and then that video is, ends up being, it clicks with at least one person, and that one person jumps to all of my videos. They literally will message at the end of the thing, and I'll be like, why didn't you comment on your
yeah,
entire thing?
or like
And
they'll
then,
binge your channel, right? And it's like how you said comments, and then you see so many, and then you always see that
yeah,
final
yeah,
comment. It feels so good, bro. It's like so rewarding to see that final comment. He'll be like, "Bro, I just watched your entire like I watched every video on your channel." It's like, well, bro, what the?
yeah.
Bro, you just spent like a week watching 200 videos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That I think is like, I would be remiss to say, I think one of the other favorite things, and Dax and you technically can feel the vibes because went to the convention recently, and the whole situation with that is like meeting people. And so for me, I think you guys might have met the family, that with me and Hidden, they watch. So like that family, it's a dad, mom, and like a daughter. They watch my stream every week, my
Wow.
chapter reaction streams every week. They put it up on the TV and they watch it, and I was mind blown because I never thought that people watched my content like that.
Yeah,
But
that's so special,
like
man.
the yeah, like an entire family gets together, and like I brought up, it's a meme because because the mom the mom scolded me technically because um I don't know if you remember, like, my streams, I have like a pan check thing, like a meme,
Mm.
because like Oda started drawing, like when we got into Egghead, he started drawing like the most sus panels ever, and like like there's the most unnecessary angles of
Yeah,
not just like
Oda was a little horny and egghead, bro. It's like, yeah,
yeah, like every if there's a girl besides Stussy, I feel like no, even Stussy did a little bit like with the tongue stuff, but like my point was earlier on, people were like, "Yo, Par's getting bricked up," and so I stood up on
bro.
stream
What the?
and I said, I stood up on
Nah, bro,
stream
that's crazy. Bro, you.
and I said pant check, and I was on my swivel chair and I spun around and there was no,
Oh,
whatever, and so I said like I told my streamer, I said, go to every streamer, and I guarantee you, I'm the only one with the integrity to do that. Everyone else is gonna be too embarrassed. Everyone's gonna be whatever because they don't have the same level of transparency like I do. I'm telling you, you're not with the no, you're not getting
bro,
weird vibes from me. I'm chilling. None
your
of these
chat
things
is
do anything to me.
insane, dude. What the
And so they started going to other streams. I think the first one was like Brago and Jay, and then they were like, "Yo, what is this?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." But it kept on going.
Oh, that's
Every
funny,
time I was
bro.
like, "All right, I'm gonna do this. Watch, you won't be able to go to any other streamer, and they won't be able to do it." And they didn't. No one else did it. But so the mom was just like, "I
That's
had
funny,
to
bro.
explain why you were doing pant checks to my daughter," and I'm like.
Yo, that's.
I'm like, all right, to be fair, I
Oh
don't say
man.
my channel's for kids. This is your fault. And she was like, all right, that's fair. And I was just like, and so then it became a meme after last year, I think it was Comic-Con. It became a meme where I said, this is a family friendly stream. There's no profanity. And then like mid reaction, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Nah.
And
Bro,
but then the
listen, bro. You're live, bro. It's like you can't. Sometimes it's just like if you're the way I see it is you're gonna slip up, bro. You're live, like you're gonna just you're
yeah.
reacting too, right? So it's like it's just a real reaction.
Yeah, but also my stream title is, well, that's not the stream title, but I call it the knock-up stream because it's
Mm.
a stream, but like the knock-up stream
Bro,
and and like Oda knocks us up every week with a new chapter. That's always been the title of the stream technically. And so I said that to her too. I was like, "Yo, the stream is called knock-up
bro,
stream." Like
pinch check is crazy, dude. Like,
and then so the other funny thing is that and this actually could go to like an actionable advice thing too, but so the chapter reaction streams are called knock-up streams, and Psy comes on. It's been harder recently because the spoiler schedule has changed and the release schedule has changed, but it used to be me and Psy would come on at the end of the stream, and in the One Piece world, after the Straw Hats went on the knock-up stream, they went on to another stream. And it was the Milky Way Road. And so what I called when Psy came on, it was the Milky Way stream. And everyone was like, oh no. And I was like, I forgot how we landed on that name. I think it started with like Pillow Talk Par or something like that. And so it's all goofy stuff. And what the
I'll be
actionable
honest,
part
bro.
is,
It's you're saying all this stuff, and I think people are not even catching this, right? Like this is actually good advice, and it's you got to have fun with your chat, man. You got to just have fun, especially when you're streaming. You got to just have fun, bro. It's like at the end of the day, people are here to be entertained, and if you're just having fun, just and like how Par said, he went with the joke. You got to play with your chat, bro. You got to mess around and have fun. Like that's what they're there for.
exactly. Yeah, that and also creating memories. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, regardless of what content you make, like if the goal is to grow, if the goal is to become popular, if the goal is to, be successful, if the goal is to whatever it is in pursuing content creation, the underlying thing in all of them is that the people have to remember you. So if you're someone who's funny or whatever, play into that. Like you have to create memory somehow, and that's what I looked at with the stream titles. Like, yo, people are gonna remember Knockup Stream. People are gonna laugh with the Milky Way. Psy comes on, and now it's the Milky Way stream. That's funny. That's memorable to the point where I met someone in real life, and that's what they remembered. You know what I mean? Like you have to create these memories. The Bogart thing, that one is hilarious because now I have so many other theories. Like I want to be remembered for the shadows theory. Like that's my favorite theory. That's the theory I still believe in. I have a crazier theory coming out later on. Like I found other stuff. And like when I hop on a stream, people will say they love the theory, that people say they remember it, but the one that gets them charged up is that Bogart theory. And that's one where I was like, I I I tested it out on a bunch of people. That is the one video I literally had. I had Brago come on a call for an hour, and at the end of it, he said, "You know what? I could see." At the beginning, he was like, "I don't see Bogart." I brought him in under the pretense we're going to talk about the Marines, and at the end of it, he's like, "Okay, I'm excited about this Bogart stuff. Keep me in the loop, all right?" And then I brought in. There's a guy who started the Bogart trend. Like this guy is literally the reason Bogart got popular. It wasn't me, it was him. He changed his name on YouTube to I am Bogart, but he used to be Xavier Wolfan on TikTok. He is the also the guy, if you've ever heard it not him. Like there's two people, but Philip for the name for the Gorsey, the bald Gorsey. On YouTube we'd call him Gandhi. But on
Yeah.
TikTok and a lot of other places, they'd call him Philip, and that was from DZL, I'm pretty sure, on TikTok. But anyways, I streamed with a bunch of people before the Bogart thing, and that would support it. But I also tested on a few creators, and nobody really liked it. Nobody was just like on board with it. I did it anyways because I was like, I think this is gonna be memorable, and I did not think like because when I posted that video, I said Bogart is going to show up before we were. So this was during the Reverie flashback. So Sabo's flashback, I believe. This was right before we went back to Egghead, and so what I said is before we fully get back into Egghead, I think Oda's gonna show us Bogart. At the time, Bogart had not been in the show or in the manga for 17 years. And I said that. I said he would come back right before Egghead. And he did. And at that time when I posted, the live action wasn't in full force. And then the Bogart, the actor and the hype, he was in every episode and all stuff. I had no idea that stuff would happen. I just made a video. I thought it was dope. It already popped off, but then it popped off in a way I could never imagine. And the reason why I say that is because there's going to be a lot of people when you're making content, regardless of what it is, that are going to say no, that are going to be like, and they're not even your enemies. They're not even whatever, right? It's just like from a content standpoint, it sometimes it doesn't make sense, but there are some ideas that you have, and if you like it, if it made you laugh, if it's you, go with it, do it, make it, because you'll never know what might come out of it, but you'll always regret what didn't come out of it. And like I think about it now, like if I'd never posted that Bogart video because everyone hated it, and then the Bogart hype happened, I would be sitting back on my heels, like, yeah, like I've been talking about Bogart. Oh my God, I've been talking about this. Like everyone, no one wanted to hear about Bogart back then. I literally did a poll in my community, like, do you guys want to hear about Bogart? And like people were like, who? Who? And I still made that video. Despite all that, I went to the effort. I made a 45-minute video. That was one of the hardest videos to make. Let me tell you how hard it is to make a video on a character that never showed up. Like, let me tell you real quick. And that was so grueling and painful. But like, I'm so happy I made that because it's like so many conversations about it. So much fun. I'm saying it a little bit extra because I know, uh, um, what's it called? Dax is a huge. Dax always brings it up. Tanuki, Hime, Randy's the funniest one because, like he said in the chat, me silently knowing the Bogart agenda Par was pushing was going to hit stratospheric levels because I streamed with Randy also about the Bogart stuff, and at that time Randy could not tell us he was in the writers' room, so he knew, but like he was just silent. And let me tell you, Randy's poker face is crazy. It's crazy. He's like sometimes I'm like, man, Randy really he if
Listen,
we
bro,
played poker, I'd be
I had
terrified.
Randy
I'd
on
be
OPU
terrified.
a few weeks ago, and I tried my hardest to get some inside information from
Yeah,
him, and I
yeah,
couldn't,
yeah.
bro. I
He's
just couldn't, like,
good.
bro. He immediately shut it down, bro. I gotta shout out Randy, bro. That dude, bro, he's a real deal, man.
Randy's inner mind is like it's like clockwork, dude. He like the moment something like I don't know how to describe it. He held me out a long time ago because like it was film red. I had some like inside information on like One Piece live action stuff, and I did a stream. And immediately after, Randy was like, "Yeah, this thing was problematic. This thing was problematic. You're better off just taking the stream down." I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna even mess with it. I'm gonna listen to Randy 100% because he knows 100. He's always thinking,
You know, Par, I
yeah,
want to tell, bro. don't take this the wrong way, bro. Take this the right way because you are what I call a complete yapper, bro. Like, bro, you could literally talk for like an hour straight. Like, I just think, bro, like you're built for streaming, dude. Like you literally just like you could talk about one theory and just go on and on and on. And I don't even know if you need the chat, which is like pretty rare. Like a lot of people rely on their chat, and you can see like, bro, without their chat, they start to panic, they start to freeze up or whatever. Even I do it sometimes, but bro, I swear, bro, like
Yeah.
you could go on and on forever, and it's crazy, bro. I don't know how you do it, man, but I'm genuinely impressed every time I talk to you, bro, because it's just like bro, you just got so many thoughts and like it's almost like you say something and then it's like it connects to another thing. Like you know how you say in your videos, you're connecting your vision.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually, bro,
yeah.
it's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro, I could literally just sit here and just you could just honestly take over the stream, and it would be a perfectly good stream. It's
Yeah,
nuts, bro.
yeah. I imagine that's what all my friends growing up had seen in me, which is like, cause my wife, obviously spends the most time with me. It like she has front row seats to the longest monologue in human history, and that's half the reason she's like, I told this to Joy Boy actually on my stream because we're both so different. One of the reasons my videos get backlogged so hard is because when I come up with an idea and the moment I tell somebody, I don't care about posting it on social media. Like it's not an intrinsic thing for me. And I said this before, I'm not a huge person like for social media. Social media isn't like I know so much about it. I researched it. That was what I was going to go into consulting for. That's what my nonprofit's about. I'm just doing strategy in social media. My current Parvision thing is all social media. I give advice, I do all this stuff. But like me personally, I don't really care to be on a loudspeaker in the middle of a room telling everybody my thoughts. Like if people listen,
Nah, bro,
that's
nah,
fine.
is that, bro? Come on, bro, that's cat, bro. Come on, you know,
No, I
bro, nah, I know Parvision when you come in, bro, like you're ready to go and you want to tell the world your theories, bro. I know how you are, bro. Like, okay, I'll be honest
I
though, but
want
I'll say in real life, like you could be different, bro. Like if in your own
yeah,
personal life, you know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah, yeah,
bro,
yeah.
when I'm streaming with you, bro, it's like, bro, you're so excited, like bro, you want to tell the world everything, bro.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like telling the world is one thing, but then I'm telling you, I'm telling the people here, and that's what I care for, right? Like there's people
Okay,
here
I see what you're
listening.
saying. Yeah, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Like so the moment this happens, like let's say I'm talking about a
Mm.
theory, right? The moment this happens and I tell you the theory, I don't care about making the video for it, you know?
Oh,
And
okay.
so my wife was basically like, "You're telling me all of your ideas, all of these like one of the funniest things happened. We watched an entire there was like a new Netflix series. And in 2022, I told my Parvision stream, not like the full One Piece stuff. This is like my more casual watch party things. I told them I had a theory about how we could see the history of everything, like a physics, science, like a quantum theory, like thing. It was like
Ooh, bro,
like
I want to
three
hear. I
different
actually want to hear
concepts.
that, bro. Like that sounds so interesting.
Yeah, and so there was a recent movie that came out that used part of the stuff, and I loved it because when I told that to my stream, I told them there's two things that haven't been created yet, and we need those two things. And one of them was fusion, and then later that year in 2022, we successfully created fusion, positive reaction fusion energy, which is insane. And then the other one is a quantum entanglement. There was a Nobel Peace Prize for it that year, and I went off on stream. And so my wife was like, "You told me about this theory in like 2018 or something like that." And like I had so many things like that. And
This
she was
is
like, "You need to make this a video. Why are you telling me this your wife like in a car ride to like I don't know, this vacation, you could just sit down and make a video." And there was a certain point when she started boycotting me going on these monologues. She was like, "No, I'm not listening. You have to record it. You have to make a video." And I was like, "No,
bro,
I just want to
W
tell you and
wife,
move
bro,
on."
W wife.
Yeah, yeah, she's been doing that recently because like I've been all over the place. I'm not posting as much on my channel at the moment, but I'm changing that. But a bunch of my friends recently, they've been subject to the par monologues in real life, and they're like, bro, you should just why didn't we record this? And I'm like, I can never record myself. I don't know when I'm gonna go into a monologue. You made me talk about this thing, and then you sat for hours listening. You should have recorded it. Like, that's what I said to,
Yeah.
I think just like 2 days ago I said that to somebody. I forget what we were talking about. I think we were talking about bridges or something. And
Let me
then
ask
they
you.
went,
Let me ask you something, Par, because you brought a. Okay, that's like, bro, you going into like a deep scientific, quantum realms. Let me ask you this: How? Okay, because you're a theorist, I'm always interested to ask other theorists this. How much of that plays into, like your real mind? Because, bro, for me when I was a kid, bro, I used to watch a lot of conspiracy theories,
hmm,
and even just like other things, like how you mentioned MatPat and stuff. I think I just
yeah,
have a conspiracy brain, bro. It's like just how I've always
hmm,
been. How much of that is like in your real natural mind? Just
oh yeah,
just
all the
in the real
time.
world, you know what I'm saying? Like not just in One Piece and
Yeah, yeah. I think like it's kind of like the word propaganda. Propaganda is like a negative nuance, right? When you say propaganda, like in the community, people say agenda and like, but like propaganda is gets a bad rep in the in our world, but when you look at the definition of it, it's literally propagating a message. That's what propaganda is.
mm.
But people don't like it when it's like if that information is consistently biased or whatever, that's when propaganda ended up getting a bad nuance and you get the government propaganda and all this stuff. And then we see that in the One Piece world, right?
Okay.
And I say that about conspiracies because it's like conspiracies get a bad rep or conspiracy theories get a bad rep because it's like someone just commented on it. It's like 90% of One Piece theories are wrong. That's what they said. And so because of that, he said my video was a load of BS. And I was like, that's not like what theories are about. Theories are about using substantial evidence, like and proving that this evidence is real, or referring to real evidence, like the sky is blue and the water is thing. And it's like you can't say that's a load of BS. That's real. And then the theory part is taking those three things, those components, and coming to a conclusion. Now, a bad theory is, well, if the person told me that the sky is yellow and the grass is purple, that's a bad theory because it's based off of bad, foundation, right? And so for me, I always like it when people are thinking and coming up with other answers than what we like currently accept.
So
And the
so okay,
reality
so you're
is
saying like just
that's
thinking outside the box if you can, right? Like because
yeah,
the way
yeah.
I see it is like I don't think you should believe conspiracies, right? But what I say is like um you should at least try to think of the possibility of some of it because like there's some things where it's like there's just a lot of information out there. You don't know what's true and what's not, but you got to figure it out on your own. And I think it's better
Yeah.
to just come up with your own worldview than to just like just accept everything that you've heard without knowing why it's the way it is.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like people can say like the heliocentric theory was bad. But it's like no, like it's not that it was bad, it was wrong. Yeah, but like we needed that to step into the next parts where it's like, okay, well, what's wrong with the heliocentric thing? Well, how do we fix what's wrong with that? Oh, we get the geocentric sorry, flip it. Geocentric, heliocentric, right? Sorry, geocentric go to heliocentric, my bad. But the point being is like even evolution, right? Evolution is still a theory, but it's not a theory because we don't believe in evolution. If the theory is wrong, it's not that evolution is wrong. It's just that there's small things about it that we don't fully get. There might be outliers, there might be things that we don't fully comprehend just at this moment, and we're going to get it next, but we wouldn't have gotten that without the theories that came before, and there were crazy theories before the current most popular theories of evolution. And that's the same thing with all of science. It's like the theory of gravity. Like the gravity, it was a theory that's like not that it's overturned, not that it's wrong in our day-to-day life. That's all you really need to know, that yeah, gravity is a thing.
Mm.
But it's like, but at the end of the day, if you think gravity is a thing that pulls you down, that might be an incorrect way to look at it, because another theory is saying that it's actually the space-time fabric pressing you down into a mass. And that's a different theory that is more widely
See,
applicable to the greater
that's
world.
interesting because like at the end of the day, gravity is still a theory, right? Like it's how
Yeah,
you're
you don't
saying.
see it.
Yeah, it's like there's still a theory to explain it, and it's. I mean, you could say it's concrete because we could feel the or like I guess because you could see the impact of it, but you can't see
Yeah.
the presence of it.
like gravity isn't out here explaining it how it works, right? We you can watch and look, but our eyes don't see everything. We can test everything from other planets and go to the moon and go to Mars and whatever and do all these things and do all these tests, but like there's certain things that's like, bro, I don't even know how my breakfast affects my stomach. Like, you know what I mean? Like we
I
don't
wanna
know those intricate
I wanna
things,
ask
and it's
you,
like, how do we know about gravity? You know what I
you
mean? Like,
you brought up quantum, I think quantum physics.
yeah.
Bro, this is something that I've always thought, and I could just be completely insane, bro. So tell me if I'm wrong, bro. Tell me what you think about this. All right. So
Okay.
okay, so this is my just completely insane theory. Not really. I haven't had any evidence. Maybe you know more than
Uh-huh.
me. I saw. I don't know how I thought of this, bro. I'm pretty sure there's like videos on it or something, but basically the idea that everybody's minds are connected, right? Like, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think about that? Like,
Yeah, like I could if someone I mean, we're going more towards a place where people are creating theories like that, and that might be a Nobel Peace Prize winner soon. So,
mm,
like, yeah, like it's not crazy to like I can understand like if you went to the street and you started saying that people would think you're crazy, right? Because it's not like applicable to day to day. How can you apply that today? That's
how can you
largely
prove
where
consciousness? Like everyone's minds are connected in some way. But I don't know, bro. To me, that always makes sense. I have probably have to look more into it before I say this is like something that I stand on for sure. But I don't know, bro. It just feels right to me. I mean, I could be
well,
completely wrong, but
here's like an interesting thing, and I think like Randy probably is more of an expert on it, but like people always bring up like art imitates or real life imitates art or art imitates real life or whatever, and you gotta like think about it. It's like these books that we see that are being turned into movies and are like, oh my god, how did Marvel get the multiverse right and stuff like that. And like at the time when like Marvel or DC or whatever art author, whenever they thought about these things, they're not all scientists or looking at the science or perfectly in there, but they were like romantically thinking about like, yo, what if this is how it works? And some of them were really goddamn close. It's kind of scary how close they were.
yeah.
And you ask them back when they wrote it, when they had these ideas, yo, how did you figure this out? They weren't sitting in a lab, they weren't testing particle physics, they weren't doing that kind of thing. They were just like, this feels like how I believe the world works. And you can look at a
It's
lot of
like,
those
bro,
books as a
bro,
theory,
you
as
said
how
like,
they
bro, you
believe it
just
works.
basically told us that you saw a C3PO in like the '90s in like a, well, in like a,
Yeah, dude, that was
what was it?
wild. I mean, that's post Star Wars, but like, yeah, it literally was an autonomous robot.
I'm
Like,
just
if I could sit
like, bro,
down and
that
find the things,
that's
I
kind
could
of
show it to
crazy,
you.
bro. It's like,
Yeah, and like also it's like if I don't have the evidence for that, people would think I'm capping. But like I asked my family, I'm like, yo, I'm not, this was when I was really young, right? And they're like, yeah, no, that's crazy that you remember, but that's actually a thing. And I found the news articles, I have the paperwork. I'm like, yo, like I explained that to my wife and she's like, nah, you're probably just a kid, when we were younger, when we were just getting to know each other and stuff. And I was like, no, I swear there was a robot in
bro,
the
it's funny.
hospital. She's
It's
like,
funny
what?
you brought it when like, because when you're a kid, like it's like you, bro. I swear, bro, and this is like a real story. Like you could even ask. I guess you know my friends, but like my hometown friends when we used to go outside and play around, bro. I
Hmm.
swear, bro, this is like on everything. We saw like I wouldn't even say it's an alien, bro, but we saw some like a UFO like flash through the sky. I don't know what it
Damn.
was, bro. Like I don't know what it could have been, but I still remember it to
Well,
this
I
day,
mean,
bro.
well, your channel doesn't know like where you're at, right? Right?
Oh
Or
no
have
no
you
no no
told
no
them?
no no! No.
Okay,
Don't
yeah,
dox me, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say like from what I know, like bro, I'd be looking at the sky every day
That
if,
was funny,
if
bro.
I was where you're at though,
Yeah, yeah.
like because yeah, like you know, I mean, they at least know you're in America. So like
Yeah.
it's funny because like America has all of the UFO sightings apparently, or like most of them, and like other stuff doesn't get reported here and there, whatever. But specific, like it's like there's certain hotspots where it's like you telling me that like yeah I could, why not, like that, yo, literally like with the eclipse
Yeah, actually, bro, it's
the
funny you said that. Like, there's certain hotspots, bro. I've heard, like, bro, bro, somebody told I was in a barber shop like a couple months ago, and this
the
guy's
best
telling,
place.
bro, they always got some crazy, bro. This dude was like telling me alien stories and stuff. How his neighbor like saw an alien in a cave, and it's just like you just hear a lot of weird stories out there, man.
Dude, like yeah, it's, and then at the end of the day it's like you hear it, if out of 1,000, it's like, is all 1,000 crazy? Like, I don't know, but that's what I was gonna say with theories. It's like the reason why a lot of theories will be slandered, I guess, or put in the back burners is because they're not applicable to people's lives, right? It's like it's the same thing with One Piece theories. I can make a Bogart theory, but imagine if Bogart didn't show up. It's just me shouting about Bogart, right? But because Oda put him in the chapter, it became an applicable thing. Now people are thinking about him so much, and that's the same thing with real life. You can come up with this theory like, oh, all of our minds are connected, right? But then it's like, how does that apply? And then that's where people are like, they can't make that gap of like, okay, well, this could be meaningful for this kind of thing or this weird medical phenomenon between twins. How does that work? We don't know how it works. So it's like maybe you're onto something with that. Maybe we if we studied more twins, and that's actually a
Mm.
real thing. The US government did study
Yeah,
twins
they
for a
did. Yeah.
large extent for that exact reason. And then the other side of it was all the governments, mainly the Western governments, they would like force feed kids acid, like just
Bro,
nonstop,
that's crazy, bro.
and force them to like get like the U.S. have like a telepathic like thing like that. But then also I found out recently the Teletubbies creator. Do you know Teletubbies?
Bro, I was at a Denny's with my friends like a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
the Bro, I didn't realize how terrifying the Teletubbies
Yo,
was, bro.
Teletubbies always freaked me out,
What is
dude.
that, bro?
Always,
Yo, especially because,
always.
bro, the fact that you're a kid watching that is like, bro, I swear to
It's
God, that's
not
like a
weird as
form
a
of
kid
mind
though.
control. It's like brainwashing, bro. What is that, bro?
Yeah, it's
Yo, it's
weird.
so
So
weird.
like that's what it's with kids shows. A lot of the crazy kids shows, it's like, dude, how did this guy make it? But like you look into that guy's story, we like there's like three stories and they're all basically on the same vibe. There's slightly different details because who tells the story. But from the one that I saw of the creator, basically he admitted that he was a experimented child in like Europe, and the Teletubbies experience is what he experienced. So what he said was that when he was a kid, they gave him he ingested a bunch of things and then they put him in a chamber, like a sensory deprivation chamber, and he went on a journey. And where the Teletubbies location is, that's where he took. And in his
What?
remembrance, he remembered rats with antennas that
Nah,
would
bro.
bring him to a tube. Yeah, that's the real that's
Bro,
the
that dude was on
Teletubbies.
one, bro. What the?
Yeah, and but like what he says, and he said that the reason why the story came out is because he admitted this in a writer's room or something like that. And so the two other stories were from two other people in that writer's room, and one of the like at least verified things is from him. When I think he gave like an interview where he said it, and then like someone substantiated it. But like I don't even need all that crazy stuff because you just watch Teletubbies and you know you know that shit's crazy, dude. And that's that like yeah, like there's so many crazy thing. And the weird part is like yeah, he had that experimentation done, but he created like a worldwide phenomenon with Teletubbies. It's actually like it's a worldwide thing. That's how successful it was. And it's so weird and creepy and like I look back at some of the episode titles, I was like, what the heck? Like
Bro,
apparently the last aired episode was Dance Putin Russia. Something like
what,
that. It's the
bro?
craziest thing.
I wonder. Sometimes I wonder, bro. What was our parents thinking, like letting us watch some of these shows?
Yeah, my parents didn't let me. So I didn't watch TV growing up because my parents didn't let me. They saw some. They all, you know that meme where your parents always walk in the weirdest scenes. That was literally it for me. Like I remember watching One Piece on the TV one time, and it was Zoro versus Kaku in Eni's lobby. And so I'm just like trying to explain to my mom or something. Like, yeah, the giraffe is fighting the guy. There's a sword. She's like, huh? What's happening
Especially,
and
bro.
like
Especially with
not
like the just the way, like we were talking about with A-Kid, right? Like Oda's drawing these weird panels and like these weird angles, and it's if your mom walks
yeah.
in, bro, and Nami's bent over like that, it's like, bro, what are you watching, bro?
Yeah, yeah,
What the
yeah,
hell?
yeah. So that was like literally the description of what happened. And so it's like yeah, we no more TV. I was only on the weekends, but even then I didn't really watch TV like that growing up. It was only when I got a computer back in the day. It was hard, but like my dad, he worked in like software stuff, so he had a computer. And that's when I started logging on the internet. That's I didn't get on forums, but the part sevens of like YouTube videos, or the random videos my brother would show me, that's how I'd get the anime back then. But yeah, crazy times. Crazy
But yeah, man,
times.
I think we're about to wrap it up, bro. It was a great stream, man. Like we went from content creation, we got into Teletubbies and acid and all this crazy stuff by the end, man. It was a fun stream, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
yeah. I
man.
mean, I'm glad this is the breath of fresh air to talk about these things with somebody, because like I've been meaning to get back into the content creation. I just haven't been, like, everyone's so busy, and I'm just like, damn, like if somebody, like, I have a few questions, and I'm just like, because we used to talk about like thumbnails and titles and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
Oh,
and
bro,
then,
bro.
so then
I was
this.
gonna say, actually, I'll tell you off stream, but yeah, just remind me.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And but yeah, and then doing this for the community, like everyone who's watching, appreciate you guys. Like the stream, make sure there's 25 people. I only see 7 likes, so that should be changed. Um but yeah, and always, I said this to my like IRL friends too. I'm like, bro, like everybody, it's gonna come to a time where like everybody should be doing content creation. Not
Oh,
because
bro,
it's
bro.
like
I didn't mean to cut you
what?
off real quick, bro. I'd swear,
No.
bro. I told this to Ors, bro. Like not even too long ago. I was like, there's gonna be a day when everybody's job is just content.
Yeah, everyone is, because like the thing is, like, people look at content creation as a job, a career to pass into, but like at the end of the day, it's social media, and social media is a really good way to like see society, not like see society, but interact with society and create friend groups and things like that. And it's a easier way to be more worldly. Like if you ever hear someone who's completely off of social media, they don't know about like some really important things, and there's some really important things you should be knowledgeable of, whether it be the news or whatever you care about. Like social media makes it really easy to be knowledgeable, and if people get better at using social media, then it'll make everything a lot better. And that's the problem right now, is that like a lot of people are like, oh, we gotta ban social media, we gotta ban this. I'm like, no, we just gotta, like, not that everybody needs to be a content creator, that's not what I'm saying, but like everybody being able to voice their thoughts, right? Like I have a initiative that I haven't been pushing recently, but I wanted to do it where and like 3 Day knows, a few of my mods know it. I think Ronnie Williams. He hasn't been to my streams in a minute, but he's the first person to submit it. I put a thing. There's a playlist on my channel that I'm gonna make. I think it's public. I'm not sure if it's made public yet. I don't remember, but basically, I was asking everybody in the chat, everybody in the community, just to record a video saying what One Piece means to them. And the point of it is like, yo, like, when I was graduating, I went through tough times and blah blah, and then like Thriller Bark was really funny, or something, like just anything like that. What does One Piece mean to you? And the reason why was because at the time I started getting into a lot of Oda's interviews and his SBS and stuff like that, and me and Sai talk about this all the time. It's like Oda is 100% just like one of us. He's literally just one of us. He's just like a dude at a bar. Sai always says that about Oda, because like you read his SBS, half of it's boobs jokes, half of it's tits jokes, half of it's balls jokes. He literally, Artur tweeted something recently where it said that someone asked him like something about Katakuri and Oda. Like if Oda was Katakuri, like would he want the hat on him or something like that? And Oda said something I'm butchering the thing, but he said something along the lines like, no, like if he were in Katakuri's situation, Luffy would have to put the hat on his crotch, like if it was Oda, because his dick is so big.
Bro,
And
what
this is
no, bro.
in like Oda wrote this. Archer retweeted,
It's a leaked
Sandman
SBS
retweeted.
or what?
This is a real thing Oda says. Oda's literally just one of us. You read the chapters, he makes the goofiest jokes. He painted Luffy's bat black and all that stuff, right? And so you sit there and realize like Oda's one of us. He's making this One Piece thing. And you gotta recognize, like, for us, one of the most enjoyable things for us is sharing with each other. Me getting on a call, talking with you. 3 Day, whatever, hopping in the chat, me hopping into everybody's chats. Like I literally for weeks on end, I was hopping on everyone's chat saying hi, talking about One Piece, this and that. And the sad reality is Oda doesn't get any of that. Oda can't. Oda can't be on social media. Oda can't talk to anybody about One Piece because he has the ending. He has like one or two editors. But the thing that all of us love about One Piece, he doesn't get to enjoy because he has the ending. And yeah, he can
Mhm.
talk about it with his editors. Oh, is this going to be good? Is that's way different than how we're talking about it when we hop on a agenda reverie and we're fighting over if the Yonkos and admirals are better. Oda's not doing that. And I would imagine if anything is true about Oda and One Piece is that the reason why this series is so like is so popular and so amazing is the conversations that we get through the community, through the social media didn't exist, we wouldn't have these conversations, and Oda doesn't get that, and that's so sad. And so I had that initiative to start that, and that's why I'm like, yo, like this is something we can't take for granted. Like at the end of the day, it's like people want to censor, I mean censor is one thing, but like ban or do whatever, it's like there's so much good that comes out of this that people don't recognize. And like it takes me getting diagnosed cancer and about to lose my voice that I'm like, yo, I need to appreciate my voice a little bit more, let me record myself. And it's like everybody could lose their voice. You might come to a time where you're not able to do it, and it's as simple as just like if you want to start content, if you want to be a content creator, but you don't even have to that. You can just be yourself and you just post it online. And yeah, like there's always the cancel whatever thing, but it's like just don't be like
Listen,
disrespectful.
it's
You
it's
know what I
interesting,
mean?
bro. You know, one thing that I always One Piece. You know, you're saying what does One Piece mean to you, and it's interesting because I think there was a YouTuber who made this video similar a long time ago, bro, like 3 years ago, and they kind of asked the same question to a few creators, and I remember I was in that video, and the thing I said was One Piece to me is gratitude because my favorite moment in One Piece was Sanji's first backstory with Zeph,
Hmm.
and it just it means so much to me like when you see Sanji and he's he doesn't waste food now and like these little things, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I always tell my chat like, bro, you guys had to be grateful for everything that you have because you know how you said like you might lose your voice, you got to be thankful for it. Like you don't even realize it, right? You don't even think about it. And for
Yeah.
me, it's like even just simple things, bro. Like I remember when I was a kid, there was this one kid in my class, and he only had one arm, and so
Hmm.
like I even like little things, but you gotta be thankful for everything. Like that you can have two legs, that you got a voice to speak, and you got your arms, you got everything, bro. And it's and people, I think people focus on what they don't have sometimes, and you got to realize what you do have.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things that everybody who's listening, everybody who um I don't know demographics, but I would say everybody has this to a certain extent is time, and especially more so the younger you are. I feel like one of the things that really really wait, not just me but a lot of people, it's like when you're younger it feels like you have to be successful now, you have to be right now, you can't fail. But it's like, bro, the younger you are, the more that time, that potential is immeasurable. I guarantee you, like every successful person, or not even like every person would give so much just to go back 10 years. And it's like a lot of you guys are at that time where, like, where I was starting with streaming, and I didn't believe fully in myself to do that. And it's not even like, like I was saying, like I was doing the career stuff too, but it's like you don't believing in yourself doesn't mean that's the only thing you do. Believing in yourself is just posting online regularly. That's it. It's a once a week, twice a week, whatever it is, 5 minute video, 3 minute video, like that time is so valuable. And I don't think there'll ever come a time where even I fully recognize it. But you become more cognizant as you get older, and
No,
and
it's true,
especially
bro.
when you get life, like a yeah, praying that no one is gets put in the situation I'm in, but
Mm.
you get a lifelong diagnosis like mine, and then it makes you count the time a lot differently. And that might be why I have that little bit of perspective. But if there's one thing that I want to do with my channel, it's to make people appreciate that time, and not, if there's something that they want to do, anything, and I'm doing content, it's like, yo, how can I help? And I've not lost that time. At the start of my channel, I was doing a lot more of it, and I think a lot of the content creators, let's few of the viewers know what I mean. But I love that seeing 3 Day, the last arc, your channel, OPU, all of these creators, Dak Sake especially being so helpful to help people pursue their passions, their careers, whatever it may be, their dreams, all of that. But just appreciate that time.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really great what you're doing, man. Like I said, bro. You know, I'm praying for your family, for you, and it's really inspiring, bro. That's why I wanted to bring you on. I mean, I already was gonna bring you on before. You know, I was messaging you like a few months ago,
Yeah,
but you know, I
yeah,
found out and I was like, bro, I gotta bring him on because it's just an inspiring story, bro. And it's like, you know, that's the thing, bro. Like, if everybody in the chat, we said it before many times in this stream. If you don't want to live with regrets, right? Like, you gotta make your content now if you really want to. And I know a lot of you guys watch my channel, and I appreciate you guys watching the streams. I appreciate you guys watching the videos. But I think, you know, at a certain point, if you do have that thought that you want to make videos, man, it's like, you know, at a certain point, you gotta create more and you gotta consume less. So it's just
yeah.
the harsh reality, man. You can't, and I can't watch every Parvision video, every Deck Socket video. I can't tune in for every stream for everybody, bro. It's like I got my own content to make. But at the end of the day, bro, it's more rewarding, and you're gonna look back on it. It's like, at least I did what I wanted to, and honestly, for me, it's like I learned a lot through this content creation. For me, I learned so many lessons, so many skills too, and I met so many people. How Par says, like, you meet so many cool people.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm just saying, like, just go chase it if that's what you want. If you don't want to, just go chase your other dreams. Make sure you guys
Yeah.
are active, and hopefully
Not
this.
even in this, just in this space,
Yeah,
because
yeah, not
I
even
would
in One
honestly
Piece, man.
say the One Piece stuff, like right now, isn't the best time to jump in. There's other animes right now that I would recommend if you're on those, but just in general, like there's so content. I'm literally watching a dude make pizza every day. Like there's a
Yeah.
shorts guy that just sees a Papa John's pizza guy, and he's just dope. His name's Do Totally. I just watch him every day, and it's like it's sick. So it could be anything,
Whatever you're passionate
anything.
about, whatever you guys enjoy
Yeah,
doing, it's just, at the end of the day, that's what wins, man. If you're really passionate about it, you're gonna go hard for it, and don't try to do things because you see Parvision doing it. Do what you want to do, and find your own way. But yeah, man, I hope this stream was inspiring for you guys. I appreciate everybody stopping through. Like I said, make sure that you become a member. We're streaming every day. I missed one day last week. I had something come up at the last second. But yeah, man. So make sure you're a member. Make sure you go subscribe to Parvision's channel. It's an amazing conversation, bro. I'm really thankful you came through, and we'll see you guys again
yeah,
tomorrow. Or actually, we might be doing
yeah.
spoilers tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you got any last words, bro?
Nah, just thank you for everyone who supports Preach, supports the channel, supports the community. Thank you guys for tuning
Oh,
in
they
and
said
being patient.
they said, how do we support the nonprofit?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just typing that out. I'll share the link. I've shared it like once or twice. I've been less active, so because it was me and my wife, and so once my son Zen came in the picture, we've had a lot less time. But we're probably planning like end of this year to do a relaunch of it. But the main thing was like we are in the phase to get funding, so we're like doing grant applications, which takes time and stuff like that. So I'll be doing that once I get more time with the the One Piece stuff. I need to get that schedule back in, you know what I mean? But as far as closing words, again, I couldn't be more grateful to everybody who inspired me to do more, but then also I've inspired, and you guys have been here and shared this time. And hopefully, you guys come out to one of these conventions. I'm gonna be mentioning out, the Anime NYC, got to meet a few people, but Comic Con, I went to LA. I'm gonna be trying. This year's a little hard. Next year gonna be more, but yeah, I'm gonna be going to all the New York conventions. So
Do you remember XD Charlotte Par?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Bro,
He's dope.
it's so funny, bro. It's like I always see him in the comments, bro, and it's just like when you meet somebody, it's like now you got like, because now you actually have a face to him, and it's like it's a whole different connection. You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of funny,
yeah.
bro. He's the only one. He's the only one out of everyone that watches my videos who see my face. So
Yeah, yeah. He might not even like at the time he didn't know,
Oh yeah,
but
he might
like
not
then
even know.
he,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which is funny. Yeah, he didn't even. He was just like he was just there, and I was like, "What do you mean you're not coming? Just come. What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we can facilitate more of that, and the IRL. Ultimately, that I think that's like an end goal too. Is like I think Oda. If there's anything about the One Piece thing, it's about bringing us all together, and we're gonna when One Piece ends, there's gonna be some parties, bro. There's gonna be some big
Bro,
parties.
there's gonna be
We're
some
gonna
crazy parties, man. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna be bumping some music, and we're gonna be listening to our favorite jams, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
listen, bro. When it's the One Piece treasure chapter, I might have to do like a 24-hour stream, bro. That's gonna be
Oh
I just
yeah,
can't wait, bro. Just thinking about it. I'm just so happy we're in this final saga, man. But
shout
yeah,
out to that.
shout out to everybody.